also thanks to the continuous support from the Deputy Vice Chancellor Offices of Research and Innovation, Prof. Nur Sada, and Deputy Vice Chancellor Development. Datus currently is Prof. Aziz, and of course also to the Universiti Malaya Sustainability and Living Lab Secretariat. Yeah? We are a very small unit, but we think big and we do big things, hopefully, for the university. So this webinar is actually a showcase and exhibit of our varsity's progress in sustainability initiatives on the 13 Living Labs grant programs for this year 2019-2020. And the Living Lab grant program are associated to our first document produced in Universiti Malaya, which is the Eco Campus Blueprint, which consists of the 8 core areas. Just to highlight that we do our initiatives in line and in support of the ECB or Eco Campus Blueprint that covers 8 core areas, which includes landscape and biodiversity, waste management, water management, energy management, transportation management, green procurement, education management, environment and climate change, and also change management, governance and participation and communication. And more so now in time of the COVID pandemic crisis, I think it becomes more important than ever for universities to create value through the sustainability perspective. And we as community, I believe, can and should sustain and accelerate our initiative to acclimatize to these changes. And hopefully this final progress monitoring session is an opportunity for us to seek thoughtful partners and solutions which will support and strategize to team and co-create innovative planning to solve for sustainability challenges in the campus at the global, in the campus level, national level, and also in the global level. So before I start the session and call upon the presenters, I would like to actually introduce our panel of assessors. These are our dedicated panels who have been working hand in hand with us to maintain and to sustain and to support the environmental and sustainability agenda. And they have been instrumental in building up the capacity with their comments and suggestions and their inputs. Yeah. So to start off, let me introduce to you our first panel, Associate Professor Dr. Narizol Adit Khadri from the Department of Biomedical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Adit, thank you so much. He's always very, very supportive of our initiative, and he plays a very important role. And he's one of the much dedicated panel, and he has been involved in many various community engagement programs whereby he has actively promoted via media involvement and engaging community members and NGOs at various levels. And also, yeah, thank you for being here, Prof. Adit. And also the implementation of Living Lab are mainly focusing on translating research into action in campus. Yeah, I think all of us know that, and Living Labs would be futile without the support from Deputy Vice Chancellor Development Office and also the Department of Development and Estate Management, or GPPHB, a department that play a vital role in establishing and maintaining of the infrastructure and properties in And the panels, our dedicated panels from GPPHB who have been always very supportive of us are Architect Sharifah Nur Nazim, Syed Yahya.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Puan Sharifah. You would like to open your video for a short while so that the audience can see you? Yes. All right. Hi. Good morning. Hi. And also, Mr. Kalai, I always call him SK, but his full name is Mr. Kalai. I'm so sorry, Kalai. You have a very long name. Yeah. That is Mr. SK to me.
Yeah, just put SK.
Morning.
Morning.
And also Encik Muhammad Ramzi Ruslan. Encik Ramzi, are you around? Encik Ramzi is also our panel, and both Mr. Kalai, SK and Cik Ramzi, they are the engineers.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. They are both engineers, senior engineers under the Division of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering of JPPHB. And hopefully this sharing of the session would be beneficial to all of you and perhaps could provide greater ideas of sustainability practices or implementation of your organization level, be it in or outside of So without further ado, I would like to call upon our first presenter and speaker, or our Living Lab PI, who is Associate Professor Dr. Rafida Muhammad Noor. And this project will be the one and only project representing core area number 5, which is sustainable transportation. Hence, Associate Professor Dr. Rafida, the virtual floor is now yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to respected panels, fellow researchers from Living Lab, professors, doctors, and also listeners. My name is Rafida Noor from Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology. I'm going to present our outcome from Living Lab grant titled IoT Monitoring and Management System on Campus Sustainable Transportation. These are our team members. We have lecturers from FSKTM, Transportation Unit, JPPHB, and also our GRA, Umar Munir. Description of the project: the system will allow a person share his or her private vehicle with one or more people who have a common or aligned destination. So the application will be decorated with a suitable user-friendly graphical interface to facilitate the stakeholders of the system, which lead to eco-friendly society with less number of cars on motion on campus, and to solve many issues such as parking availability, fuel, parking costs, toll costs, loneliness, and depression of single passenger. The objective of the project is only two. We want to develop mobile apps, which we want to achieve a green campus for University of Malaya, and also to develop a web interface for the stakeholders to monitor the overall carpooling system. Let's look at the project timeline, where we started in November 2019. In between, everyone knows that we have MCO between March to June, which make the progress of the project a little bit slow, but we managed to complete by November 2020. In the beginning of the year, we also managed to do the campus survey. It's not represent the entire campus community, but we managed to grab some respondents from various faculty. And these are the important question and important percentage that we managed to present today, which 43.2% interested to have a formal car sharing service on and 45.5% if possible with some restriction issues. We also need to point out that the reason they opt for car sharing because of the parking space in University of Malaya, and they're also willing to set up for a formal car sharing through the development of web application and also apps. Let's look at the module that we developed. The first module is web-based module, which is the event or meeting organizer, where they will register and sign into the web-based system for the event or meeting organizer. The organizer will create the meeting title or the event for the department, for the PTJ, or even for the research center, and send the invitation to the committee members using the invitation module. The second module is the Share Right module, which you can download from the Google Play Store. The first phase of this project is to develop the application for Android platform only. You can register and sign in and identify the meeting or event that you have been invited, and you can offer your right or you want to share your right. Also, you have the ability to reject or to accept your colleges. And this application also can show the update of the driver, where the driver is located from and the destination, and also finally you will get Share Right rewards as a user. Now, this is the project achievement summary that I would like to share. We managed to complete the innovation or the technology 100%. We managed to develop the Android platform, and it's on the Google Play Store, 100% achieved. And we also managed to publish 3 publications. The first one is the book chapter for Sustainability Secretariat for next year publication, and 2 full paper competition. IDA is organized by Universiti Malaysia Perlis, and also the third one is the full paper competition from Indonesia competition. We also send for copyright to UMCIC, and it's 90%. We are waiting for the acceptance from the UMCIC. The capacity building, this is the one that we have not completed yet, because we have to do the demo with targeted unit or center, and we identified that the first demo will be with Eco-Campus Secretariat, Research Cluster and faculties. We also will do online campaign through poster and also video. Sorry. The fifth one is the innovation invention competition, where we already passed the first stage, which is the bronze medal. Now we are at the silver or the gold medal, and we will know the outcome by end of this month. Number 6 is the networking and linkages, where we will establish our system with the Sustainability and Living Lab at the first start of this application, and also FSKTM Technovation to promote this application. Before I end, I would like to share our video that we have developed. Let's end my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Associate Professor Dr. Rafida. We're looking forward actually to her project as it will certainly support the sustainable transport and ride sharing in campus, and hopefully can instill the behavioral change amongst our campus community, so as not to use a single vehicle occupancy. I now open the floor to our panels first. As mentioned by the chairperson earlier, all Q&A from the other participants, please wait till the end. After every session presentation, we are only opening to the panels for Q&A. I think Dr. Adit is ready
Yes,
with
yes.
his question. Yeah.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Rafida for completing your work. I think it's from the beginning we believe that your work is very important to the situation here on campus. Just for the benefit of the rest of the participants today, perhaps you would like to share what you meant by, because in your title you mentioned IoT, yeah? So could you please explain on what you meant by IoT in your work today? And secondly, just a comment. I think another PTJ that you might want to consider would be the HEP, because they have each college have their own van and transport. Perhaps that's another avenue that you would like to do your demonstration on. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Adit, for the question. The IoT monitoring, which we have the GPS, which embed GPS Google from for the application. We only have this. The apps that we have is for GPS application. It's not like IoT per se as a sensor device, but we are using the existing application for the mobile apps. The GPS. Maybe in future, if for now, because we develop for the private vehicles, meaning that the vehicles from each individual staff. This is for staff, okay, for the lecturers and also for the staff. But in future, we will expand, because we will expand this project for vehicles, where this is where we will add the sensor on the vehicle. For example, each faculty, they have their own vans, like you say, the HEP, the colleges, they also have their own van, which we can extend this project to vehicles, and we add the GPS and also the sensor to create to monitor the movement of the vehicles. As for now, because it's a private vehicle, we only use the existing GPS from the mobile apps. Yes, we will extend to the other PTJ, as you said, for the college. I will send the invitation to the Pengetua College, yeah, to the Pengetua College, if they were interested to see our demo, a part of the faculty and also for the center. Thank you for your suggestion, Prof. Adit.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the response. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Adit. Any other questions or queries from our other panels? Puan Sharifah or Mr.
I have, Prof?
Ya, silakan Puan Sharifah.
Okay, I have one question. The app has been used campus-wide, kan?
No, Chair, because we already complete the development. End of this month actually. We just put on the Google Store, but we are waiting for the approval from the Google Store.
Oh, okay. Nanti later on when it's being used by everyone campus-wide, you will monitor the usage, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, that's why the target. Sorry, sorry, Puan.
Tak ada. I just nak tanya dia because with this COVID ni mungkin dia punya usage dia tu tak memberansangkan.
Yeah. Because actually we plan to do that. Initial idea from Prof. Sumiani is during this seminar physical seminar before the PKPB itu, we plan to use the application. But unfortunate, because of PKPB, then we have to put on hold for the first trial.
Okay.
So later we will get some figures, number of private vehicles on campus, how the reduction of this usage of the private vehicle move throughout the campus.
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just to add on to that, our intention was, at the end of this living lab cycle, we were supposed to do a seminar, a physical seminar. Yeah, and we were going to actually adopt Dr. Prof. Rafida's apps for all the participants to actually share ride coming to the conference or seminar venue. But yeah, we plan, but Allah has better plans. So we applied to the non-physical seminar or virtual seminar. But inshallah, hopefully, when things are better, I'm very sure that the apps will be very useful, and we're going to hopefully adopt it, especially at campus level. Yeah, once it's successful at the etc. Okay, is there any other questions from any other panel?
Okay,
I'd like to
from my
see
side.
the apps being adopted and monitored campus-wide, yeah, Prof. Rafida, yeah? Yes, Mr. SK, please silakan.
Yes.
Okay, no comment. It's okay. I got my answer.
All right, the comment, yeah? So you're happy with the, all right?
Yeah.
What about Cik Ramzi? Because I have to be fair and ask all of them.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Saya ada satu pertanyaan tentang apps ni. Dia apps lah kan, tapi macam mana tentang maintenance app tu sendiri? Adakah ada maintenance ataupun tiada? Lagi satu soalan saya, siapa yang akan maintain dia? Terima kasih.
Okay, as for now, because at the Faculty of Com, even the server that we are using is FSKTM server. So for first year, this year, and also the next year, FSKTM will be, I mean, me and also my student graduates, meaning that we have a team to maintain. But in future, when we transfer this application to the idea is to transfer to the transportation unit, because when we extend the project to vehicles, so one center or one unit should maintain the application, which I feel that the JPPHB unit is the nearer unit that can maintain the application in future. I hope I answered your question.
Saya bukan tak nak agree, tapi cuma JPPHB saya rasa expertise untuk maintain apps ni, saya tak rasa JPPHB ada expertise tu. Jadi saya punya suggestion lah untuk next stage mungkin boleh involvekan PTM ke apa ke.
Involve PTM. Okay. Yes. Yes, PTM involved from beginning, but there is a unit, mobile apps unit from PTM. The reason we have not yet involved because the apps is not ready. So once the apps is ready, yes, PTM is involved where we can put in the Touch. But the discussion will be take place by, I think, in early next year.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Prof. Rafida. Yes, as you can see, this is only her first cycle. She's supposedly having to ensure that the app is fully operational and robust, so that it can actually be adopted. And inshallah, the idea of the Living Lab is to translate it into real operation plans, and hopefully by then we will be able to not just engage but also develop capacity and also work with PTM and JPPHB, who is in charge of transport and issues pertaining to apps in the campus. Yeah, okay, thank you so much, Prof. Rafida and team. Please, yeah, keep up the
the panel.
yeah, and hopefully it'll be in full operation soon. Okay, thank you.
Inshallah.
I would like to now invite our second presenter or our principal investigator of the next project, Dr. Muhammad Yazid Ahmad from the Faculty of Engineering. Dr. Yazid will be presenting on his project entitled Robust Smart Modular Electrical Energy Monitoring and Management System for Energy Saving. And his project is actually supporting our UMECB or campus blueprint on the energy management in campus. Without further ado, Dr. Yazid, the floor is yours. Or the screen is yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you for the chairperson. I'm Dr. Yazid from Department of Biomedical Engineering, Universiti of Malaya, Faculty of Engineering. So I'll be presenting today the topic under our UM Living Lab, which covering the energy management. We try to save energy for our university. All right. Maybe I should start with our team member lah. This is our team member. So we have various skill from AI, from the hardware, from the optical, and also involvement from JPPHB. Let's go back to. In my earlier slide, I did not include the problem because I did not expect many people attending, but looking at the so many people attending, and then most of you might not have background on this project. So I will be briefly explain on the problem that we're trying to solve. I think if you observe can you see the slide now? Just want to check.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good.
Like to put it to presentation mode to be better.
Presentation mode. Because I'm having two screen, I'm afraid if I put it in presentation mode, you might not able to see it. Maybe I can small down this. How about that?
Yes, better. Thank you.
Okay. All right. The problem we're trying to solve here is human factor. Notice we have lots of big auditorium, lecture hall, in between class, the light, especially during the peak hours, during the rest time, 1 to 2, and sometime on the evening session, lots of lightings, even projector, there are stays on. These incur unnecessary expenses at the university level to pay the electricity bill. And indirectly, it also contribute to the pollution to the environment, because in order to produce the electricity, we need to burn the gas or arang batu. So this is not good for our environment. If we able to tackle this issue, indirectly we can tackle the CO2 emission as well. So that is our target, to try to control the lightings, aircon. This is not new, but we need to do it. And this is another representation. See, the air conditioning is contributing the almost half, and then followed by lightings. And based on the study, indicate that this is studied by in the literature, we can see there are still significant portion of people that not really care to turn off switches. So by having we integrate the existing sensors, switches, and then microcontrollers hook up them together to perform a task where it can automatically turn off the appliances, the switches, lightings, aircon whenever not needed. So this is the setup that I deployed in one of the lecturer room. So we have central modules, we have cloud linking, we have switch module. How it works? Basically, the sensor module, we sense the environment in terms of temperature. If it is not correctly set, then it tells the central what is the status, and then the central will run the algorithm, smart algorithm, whenever no people around after certain threshold time, for example, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the lights can be turned off. And also, if the temperature set too low, it can override the air conditioning setting. Most of the split unit use infrared. So our solution is not, it does not require rewiring. It is very quick to be deployed. So for the controlling the air conditioning, we use infrared. We beam back the signal representing the signal coming from your remote. So it will adjust the temperature accordingly and so on. So these are the modules that we developed for this project. In terms of to prove the applicability of the system, we deploy and then we do continuous measurement. And from our observation, the lightings, if we able to control, for worst case scenario, if the lecturer does not turn off the light at all, when they go out for meeting, for lecture, we can save about 34% for the lightings. As for the air conditioning, if we able to control the air conditioning, let's make it bigger, or I cannot make it bigger. Anyway, if we able to control the air conditioning from extremely cold setting to, for example, 25 degree, we can able to save 48%. And for the setting at 26, we can, this one, around that figure as well. So this indicate the importance of this solution to be incorporated in our campus. So these are some of the modules that we developed. We try to make it easy to deploy, to be deployed. So we put it here, and this is the switch, existing switch. There is no hacking. We just do a small wiring here, and then it will be able to control wirelessly. These are motion detector. We try to making sure this sensor able to run independently from the power source for the sake of simple deployment. Our initial version use battery, and then we customize the board, the controller board, to consume very little energy. Our calculation, if you are using 2 AA battery, this module can sustain more than 10 years. Our future version, it has energy harvesting capability. This future version does not require any batteries anymore. So I have a research group, our master and PhD working on this project as well. In terms of the milestone for this project, overall we achieve all the targeted milestone. On the expenditure, I can say 80%, 85% we spend. The remaining part over here, the allocation on.
Dear Dr. Yazid, sorry, your 7 minutes is up. Can you please wrap up in 1 minute? Thank you.
So I will go straight away to the KPI. So most of the promised KPI we have achieved, except for this one, 90% on the guideline. This KPI number 1, these are the figure. Capacity building, we involve the technical staff, we even involve with the external college member from NJI. They come to our lab and then they become a volunteer where they work. They help us. They help our project on sensor modules and related to the PCB board. This is energy meter development process. These are the showcase of where we deployed the system in Block D. Another figure. This is where we involve industry, JPPHB, and also to go to the outside. We applied for PPRM. We get selected to be present in Kementerian. And in terms of publication, we publish this one. I fortunate to have chance to go to Singapore. We presented 2 papers, and now that the 2 papers are already available in IEEE Explore database, published. We get lots of feedback during this presentation. We also developed the software for monitoring all the devices under Home Assistant system. Internship. I would like to show the software in the Home Assistant where we can keep track all the sensors and also the switches. So these are the snapshot of the graph coming from the software. This one, this is overall appearance, EM Living Lab. And this is how it can be used on the mobile app as well. If you have your lab, you will be able to monitor the state of the appliances in your lab, lighting and everything. So you can even control it. All right, I should stop here because there are so many.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Adit. That was a good presentation. I think I'll start the ball rolling to ask some questions. Firstly, I think this has been quite successfully done in Faculty of Engineering. What are your plans in ensuring that this can also be replicated or be carried out in a bigger scale in campus?
Okay, thank you for the question. Valid question, very important. I've discussed with TDP Engineering because we need to showcase in big scale. First, we will implement in engineering at a bigger scale. Currently, only Block D and some section in Block A. If we able to showcase the overall saving, the data showing, let's say, saving by 10%, which is huge when you translate into money. And then this will provide the concrete evidence for the other PTJs to follow. Very important thing is the manpower and how to do. That's why I put stress on the documentation of how to deploy the system. I think by having showcase and then good guidelines, it will help others PTJ to replicate.
Thank you. Can you actually do like mass development if there is a request from the other PTJs, or even if JPPHB would like to adopt it to be used to the other PTJs? Is it possible?
Possible, provided with the suitable funding and also suitable manpower. manpower, I think I need to get people in UM, not from outside. Because outsiders, they come and go, I'm very tired.
Yeah, I
Train
think.
them and then they leave.
Yeah.
Train
What
them,
about the
they leave.
capacity building for GPPHP personnel themselves?
As I mentioned in previous progress, if until we put into their KPI, then it will go on.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions from the other panels?
Just a quick one from me, Dr. Yazid. I'm interested with the energy harvesting capability of the future sensor. So how do you manage to do that?
Okay, there are many ways. Since my background is more on electrical and also on RF radio frequency, the module that I and my team developed is based on harvesting from ambience electromagnetic field. Because nowadays with 5G, with lots of IoT, we harvest the signal from the radio frequency emitted from all the access point, from mobile, from communication tower. We harvest that, and then we have supercapacitor, where by harvesting, keep it in supercapacitor, and then we have energy management IC, and by having that, we're able to turn on and off the sensors. Very important, because the sensor, we deploy a lot. We cannot simply change the battery for each of them, because the sensor, the number of sensors is very huge. Because that is why we investigate on this energy harvesting RF. And on top of that, for quick, when the sensor is installed at the outside where the sunlight is available, we use the photocell. That is straightforward. The one we trying to overcome is in building, because inside building there's no light, sunlight, and then that one require another way. That's why we use RF radio frequency to harvest.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yazid. That's all from me. Well done. Very good project.
Okay. If want to add up, we investigate further on smart antenna, where this smart antenna able to steer the angle of receive, looking at the surrounding electromagnetic source. It kind of it like macam mana? Kalau the signal coming from my right hand side is higher, then the steering will be on this side, and then it keep harvesting from that. That will improve the overall energy harvesting capability.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yazid. Any other question from the panel? Okay, none from the others. So thank you so much. We have to move on. Thank you, Dr. Yazid. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hopefully my main aim is actually to see it being deployed more widely in campus, because energy efficiency and energy reduction in terms of usage would actually means a lot, in terms of not just saving the environment but also saving costs to UM.
You will save a lot.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I would like to invite our next speaker, and our next speaker is actually Engineer IR Dr. Khairunisa Hasikin. She will be presenting her project entitled Green Stop Carbon Balance Ecosystem Initiative in University of Malaya campus, and her project is basically supporting the tenets or the Eco Campus Blueprint on Biodiversity. The screen is yours, Dr. Khairunisa.
Thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. I'm Khairunisa. I would like to first introduce about the project itself. Is called Green Stop Carbon Balance Ecosystem Initiative in our UM campus. The team member for this grant is Dr. Adit, Associate Professor Dr. Narizol Adit from the same department, Dr. Sarah from ISB, Dr. Muhammad Zaini from UNIMAP, and also Cik Zam, Cik Mazairi Zam from JPPHP. This project actually initiated since 2018. So the objective that I stated here is actually objective for 2019 version. For 2018, more or less the same. What we did was we quantified the carbon sequestration rate at trees as a carbon sink at Rimba Ilmu. With that, we also developed one sensor module that can detect carbon emission at that time, temperature, and also humidity. We correlate that with the tree growth at Rimba Ilmu, and we quantify how the tree growth here affecting the carbon sequestration, overall carbon sequestration of that area. The reason why we start with the Rimba Ilmu at that time, because Rimba Ilmu got the tree tagging, meaning that we know the species and so on, we can calculate the wood density easily. So we start with that first, then we proceed, after we get the result in 2019, we propose a solution to whatever that we found in 2018, because from that research, we found out that most of the tree at Rimba Ilmu, although of course it absorbs carbon, but about 40% of the tree are already in maximum capacity of absorbing carbon. It does not increase year by year. So the budget that we get from 2018, 2019 until now is about actually 39,500. First round is 19,500 and 20,000 the second round. Most of the budget goes to the salary, and the rest are for development of the sensor and also development of the vertical greening system that I will explain later. In terms of the project summary achievement, the target itself from beginning is to reduce the carbon, to increase the carbon sequestration, the ability to absorb the carbon. Because like this, when we propose the title, has been actively used by not just the campus community, not just from student, academic staff and so on, but people from outside also use as a jalan pintas, and the carbon emission in at that time was high, and then suddenly we faced with the COVID pandemic and so on, then only we see the reduction in terms of carbon emission inside campus. So due to that, we propose a solution to quantify this value, the emission value, and we try to correlate, because got Rimba Ilmu, we have a lot of trees actually inside so nobody quantify it. We try to quantify it, and we try to see it to achieve the carbon balance between the emission and also the capacity of absorbing the carbon. So since 2018 until 2019, we're able to increase about 61 to 253 gram per meter cube, this one monthly from the vertical greening system. And this I would say 100% achieved, because the system already installed with the capability of monitoring the carbon emission, humidity, and also temperature at that time in real time. In terms of capacity building, this project also delivered seminar and workshop, either in conference or I managed to get at that time like Erasmus program for 1 week. So whatever initiative from this project and also from the Living Lab initiative already presented and already do hands-on I would say training on how the sensor work in February 2020 before COVID. In terms of the innovation and the knowledge transfer here, we managed to develop multi-sensor module that can quantify CO2 emission, temperature and humidity, and also we already installed VGS, vertical greening system, at one of the bus stop in to absorb the carbon emission at that area. In terms of community engagement, this is a bit tricky, because suddenly we hit by pandemic. actually we have another 2 series of workshop that we couldn't manage to do it because suddenly it's MCO and so on. But first that we did actually, before that we do soap making workshop and also the green art workshop in collaboration with other project as well from KK12 at that time. In terms of publication, the manuscript is almost ready and will be submitted next month. Book chapter already submitted to UM Living Lab. Okay, let me go to the finding that we get from 2018. So this is the carbon sequestration calculation and the growth calculation from Rimba Ilmu, and from that we found that 42% of the trees at Rimba Ilmu actually more than 30 years, it already achieved their optimum growth, and they can sequester carbon about 70,000 kilogram per meter cube per year. Per tree in a year, and average about 5,000 per tree. Of course, the rate depends on the species of the tree, but this is almost I would say that the average value lah about that. And the trees at Rimba Ilmu already achieve its optimum growth, more than 30 years and so on. So they can absorb carbon, but the rate a bit stagnant as compared to the trees that we replant and so on. The carbon sequestration analysis at Samali Tree House area, because this area JPPHB start to plant this tree around end of 2016, so it's quite new. So this tree absorb more carbon actually than certain tree at Rimba Ilmu. So we also quantify that. We also measure the carbon emission at this area for more than 6 months lah. And then after that I moved the sensor, because we only developed one sensor. I moved the sensor to KK12 bus stop area. So this is the sensor design that we already developed, already done in 2019. It consists of 3 modules: CO2 emission, humidity, and also measuring the temperature. And this is the installed VGS, vertical drainage system, at one of the bus stop in UM. If you notice, this one already there since after MCO, I think June, around June this year, the VGS absorbing the carbon at that area so far, and so far when we measure the emission at that area and also how much this tree can absorb the carbon, it seems almost balanced, because not many people use that area. I mean, not many cars in UM at the moment, kan? So we can survive with that. We hope that this VGS can be replicated in another bus stop in UM. If we already counted around 12 bus stop nearby UM. If all of the bus stop we can install this kind of thing, it can absorb more carbon than the current state right now. This is the conference in 2019 that I presented at IGEM, and also this one is the Erasmus Teaching Mobility, the workshop that we conducted.
Alright, Dr. Karinisa, you have 5 minutes to wrap up. Thank you.
Alright, almost done. This one is the media appearance from one of our member, Dr. Sarah, and one newspaper, Utusan Malaysia newspaper, cutting on overall concept of VGS. Alhamdulillah, we managed to do that August 2020, and we presented this project also to Sam Dhabi, this one in 2019, and also di Bitahari, and just now is Cosmo. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Karinisa. I now open the floor to our panel for any questions. No question from Puan Sharifah. Of course, Dr. Adit is a group member. Maybe I can ask a question. Dr. Karinisa, the project, the bus stop project has been successfully done at College 12. What does it entail in terms of cost if we were to do it at all the 12 bus stops in campus? I would like to, JPPHB to consider this application.
Without the sensor to monitor daily emission, about less than 6,000 je, Prof. The one that is expensive is the monitoring part to the sensor that we developed in 2018. But in terms of BGS, less than 6,000 can be done the whole thing lah.
Per bus stop.
Yeah,
Per
yeah.
bus stop, you mean?
Per bus stop. And already, actually, we already throw this idea to the NC, Prof. Aziz lah, but he laughed je. He laughed je. So maybe we keep pushing forward untuk at least install at apa nama ni, bus stop near Maybank tu, UM Central.
Yes.
Because that one more frequent. I mean, bus more frequent use that area. The student frequently use the area. So we already throw the idea to Prof. Aziz, but he laughed first lah. So tengoklah tahun depan maybe we try to push another time, one more time.
You know, budget is always a constraint. But you know, I was thinking like if we can do it like DIY, is it possible?
Possible, Prof. The thing is, nak tarik apa tu, electricity to charge up the pump tu is a bit yang itu je yang mahal, yang piping and also the tree tu cheap je.
If you can come up with you know, we always encourage our living lab researchers to actually come up with a guideline and modules for training. So you know, if you can come up and make that ready, available, we can actually just you know, hopefully pass on to JPPHB and their personnel could actually, they can easily, I think, do it in-house, and we can cut costs, because the idea is to reduce the reduce the emission, absorb carbon, and also replicate your success story of what you have done.
There's a question in the chat.
For the audience, because of the time limitation, I wish to reiterate, please keep your question at the end of the session, and for the PIs, please have a look at the chat box, and if you can answer and type the questions posed to you, you may do so, so that you can you know, save time. All right. Any other questions? Yes. You can either wait later at the end of the session, or you can type first your answer.
Okay.
So there's no other questions from the other panels. Mr. SK and Cik Ramzi, tak ada? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation just now. And moving on now, I would like to invite our next speaker, who is actually my project, but of course, being the chief assessor of the panel, I'm not going to present. I'm inviting my co-researcher, Dr. Ng Chee Guan, to present on our flagship project, Zero Waste Campaign, Integrated and Sustainable Management Model Development in Universiti Malaya campus. Dr. Guan, the floor or the screen is yours now. 7 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. A very good morning to ladies and gentlemen. So like Prof. Sumani mentioned, I'm Dr. Ng Chee Guan. I'm representing the group led by Prof. Dr. Sumani and my colleague, Dr. Rosaslim binti Abdullah. So I'm very happy to actually given this opportunity to share with those who maybe do not have an idea what Zero Waste Campaign Living Lab is. So a little bit of introduction, very brief one. Being the oldest, one of the oldest living lab program in Universiti Malaya, we have grown since 2010 with the objective, the initial objective is to help Universiti Malaya to reduce waste being sent to landfill with a core treatment method, which is to retain food waste and treat the food waste on site. And slowly over the duration of 10 years, we have grown slowly from a research background or research ground with a site situated on a piece of land which is about 20 square feet. Now it has evolved into a fully functional integrated waste management center in Universiti Malaya, which I would say that is in line with the concept of living lab, where we bring our scientific research into a real implementation. All right. So this project is parked under the core area of waste management. So next slide, I'm going to bring you through a little bit of introduction of the severity of waste issue in Malaysia. We are all know that waste is everybody's business, and Malaysia is generating a lot of waste. It's about 38,000 tons of waste being generated a day nationwide, and in this huge amount of waste, about half of it is food waste. Let me quote a statement which always used by Prof. Sumiani Yusof, where if we were to tackle food waste, literally we are actually tackling half of the problem, where I pretty much agreed with that statement. So that's a reason why we initiated this zero waste campaign in 2010 to try to help Universiti Malaya to reduce food waste from being sent to landfill. All right. So of course, this slide I'm going to share with you. Food waste, the benefit of retaining food waste does not only help to reduce the impact to the environment, where when food waste are degraded anaerobically under the landfill condition, it will generate a lot of methane gas, and this methane gas is contributing to global warming potential. All right, so besides environmental effect, health problem is also become more serious, where if let's say food waste is not separated, so all residents, including the Universiti Malaya community, when they are handling waste, so they are handling with a lot of risk when it is brought upon by the food waste contaminants, in example, malaria, eye irritation, asthma. So another thing that I would like to highlight is the economic benefit of this living lab program, where I will show you what we have contributed to the cost saving. Very obviously, when we are retaining food waste and treat it on site, we save a lot of transportation costs, we save a lot of disposal costs on behalf of Universiti Malaya. And at the same time, when we turned the food waste into a product, when we sell this product, it is also become a potential revenue generation stream. All right. So in 2020, I mean, it started in 2019. It is such a big year for us because we have actually taken a huge step forward as compared to 9 years before. Because 9 years before, we are very much focusing ourselves in campus. But last year, we take a huge step where we expand our influence to external communities. So with a budget of about 31,000, we have spent or committed about 96% of it. And this budget have been contributed to 3 anchor projects. The first one is to increase our capacity to further reduce the waste generation and being disposed to landfill by increasing the capacity of recycling in terms of composting, anaerobic digestion, and also some other recyclable collections and sorting. The second project that we have embarked on this year, or starting last year, is our organic farm. So we have started to produce our own organic produce by using our own compost. And the third project is we actually expand our impact towards the nearest community, where we have formed a number of partnerships with the community and with also stakeholders in the industries. So these 3 projects actually help us to achieve our proposed objective, which is to develop a policy and innovation system in UM. And then number 2, which is to increase the awareness of the community in separating their waste. And number 3 is to form more partnership, which is in line with one of the SDG goal, which form sustainable partnerships. So in general overview, UMZWC in year 2020 has achieved almost all our promised KPI. All right. So in the next few slides, I will go into the details of each one. But this, I would like to share with you a little bit of things that we have not promised, but we have achieved. For example, because of our innovation in co-treatment between aerobic and anaerobic, we have won Pencipta 2019 Gold Award, okay, because of that. And then another one, we have also been awarded this Okayama Award because of our involvement with community. So the third one, we have launched our organic farm, which cover an area of about a 1/4 acre. So we planted various of vegetables, and of course we sell it not only to the UM community, but we also sell it to outside communities. So another one that we would like to highlight is we also have collaboration with other living labs to actually inculcate, or we include plastics, recycling of plastic, and make it into a pavement in our UMZWC site, which is situated in Damansara Gate. Okay, so in terms of our first target, which is our core business, to help to reduce, to recycle total tonnage of waste, which is 95.5 ton in combined, we have actually achieved 120 ton in 12 months. And this has been translated into a total of 27,000 ringgit Malaysia saving to UM, and 263 ton of carbon emission equivalent being diverted or being reduced. All right. So if we look at this graph, we know that despite the effect of pandemic, but after April, May, we keep up our operation, and then we start to continue our operation and start to increase the recycling of other materials. Okay, so our recycling include food waste recycling, textile recycling, e-waste recycling, and also some other recyclable materials that come into UMZWC site. Then in terms of sales and revenue KPI, our promised target is 8,000, and in 12 months, we have achieved 18,000. Of course, this will be possible when we put these things online because of the effect of pandemic, so everything have to go online. This 18,000 come from 4 main sources. The first one is our sales of organic compost, where we sell it online as well. The recycling, which is ongoing process. And then the third one is from our organic vegetables. So we sell it online, we post it on UM Info. So we have UM communities and also neighbor communities who are interested to buy. They come over to our ZWC site to actually make purchase. And the last one that I would like to highlight to you, ladies and gentlemen, is our training module. So this year we have started to roll out our training module to stakeholders, to industrial players. So we have conducted training online, and this contributed to our revenue income. On the networking and engagement, there are more than we call it networking that we have promised, but I would like to highlight 2 engagement that make us proud. The first one is an engagement with UNEP. So it is in the program of Plastic Disclosure Program, where UM together with a few public listed companies, examples, Westport, some other developers, and a few public listed companies, and then we try to come out with some plastic disclosure quantification. And the next one is on the knowledge transfer capacity. So this year we have engaged 2 communities, and we transfer our knowledge of composting to them. So the other things that I would like to highlight is our engagement with MEC companies, or one external industry who would like to have a collaboration with ZWC, which is next year, to have a more treatment of waste which is not covered by ZWC recently. For example, plastic waste, yard waste, in terms of pyrolysis. Okay, so on the last slide, this is a recap on a 10 years journey of UMZWC. Our journeys is not easy, but with the blessing from JPG and from all stakeholders, we have actually made it, and we are still sustaining to this year. So on the overall achievement for over 10 years, we have diverted more than 1,200 ton of waste in total combined, and a cost saving of 400,000 to Universiti Malaya, income generation of 100,000, and then a total GHG reduction of 5,300 ton. So the whole ultimate goal of ZWC is actually to develop a circular economy model in Universiti Malaya, and with this concrete ground data or concrete ground project, we hopefully that this can be duplicated elsewhere. This is where we are looking forward to work with more communities next year. Thank you very much for myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Guan, for the presentation representing Zero Waste Campaign. Any questions from the panels? I can't be asking questions because this is my project actually.
Yeah. In that case, I will start. Thank you, Dr. Ng. I think, like what you said, this is the oldest project. And also, I think this project has been conducted well over the years. I can see that it's not just this year. I mean, since the beginning I became the panel, your objective has always been met. And not just met, your ZWC has always been above and beyond whatever you promised. So perhaps my question would be, what's next? I mean, when will you be independent? I mean, compared to the other projects, you seem to be stable, already stable. You have established networking, very good linkages with other people. And I think it's only fair that we want to know when can you be on your own. Thank you. That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Adit. Yeah, like I mentioned just now, this year is actually a big year for us. We are very glad that we have taken a very brave step forward, where now, in terms of our revenue generation, we are trying to we call it diversify our product. Last time we only rely on selling of compost, but now we roll out training program. We make more concrete collaboration with industrial players so that we can develop a more comprehensive integrated waste management model, and then we sell our vegetables produce. So we also hope that next year we will have more and more income to actually to support our operational costs. But it is not easy due to the pandemic era, but we will try our very best to do so. Thank you very much, Dr. Adit.
Yeah, thank you for your response. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Okay, I think Puan Sharifah says that she has no question because she knows this project very well, so no question. Mr. SK, no question from you? No? Mr. SK says just keep it up. Yes, we are always, striving to keep on improving because like I said, my main goal and dream is actually to see it being adopted sustainable and integrated waste management system in the whole campus, not just for ZWC per se, but to also change mindset and behavior of campus community, and also to engage with more stakeholders to spread the knowledge and also the awareness about the importance and significance of a sustainable and integrated waste management system, not just for the campus but for the country.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ng.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll move on now to the next presentation. I'd like to call upon Dr. Noriana Shuaib. The floor is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Liana from FSKTM. So I will start my presentation with a short video. Okay. 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 Today we present about green procurements for food premises. So this is under waste and green procurement. This is our project members. So these are the objectives: is to investigate the state of art of green components for food premises, to identify green procurement best practices and procedures, and then to develop the green procurement procedures and guidelines for food premises. So the allocation is 16,000. We have used around 86%. So actually this project, we apply for extension. So our final date will be 15 December. So the project is still ongoing. Okay, basically this is recap from the video itself. Okay, we have done a few research activities. First, we have conducted a document analysis. Here we study existing guideline, existing forms related to monitoring the food premises itself, and we try to identify which part that contain a green component. And then we interview stakeholders, GPPHP, OSHE, and also from PTJs, because they are the enforcement team for the food premises. We conducted a seminar with the stakeholders. We discussed about our results from the interview, from the document analysis. We also conducted a survey with the vendors of food premises. However, this phase started around end of February. Together with the PKP. So in this part, we only have like 10 respondents. So around 20% something. Okay. Because of this, we have discussion with the stakeholders, because at the beginning, we are focusing on the vendors, on how to discuss with them, how to improve the process and how to engage with the vendors because of the PKP and so on, and we discuss with the stakeholders. So we are now focusing on the document itself, on the monitoring part of the on the food premises. We also have done the community engagement. Okay, for the output, we have identified issues for green procurement in food premises. And then we also, based on the issues, we would like to enhance the green element in related guideline and forms. There are many forms related to the monitoring because there are many stakeholders involved. So JPHP have their own forms, OSH have their own form, and PTJ have their own form, also the perolehan. So we identify which forms that we can add the green element to make sure that all the food premises in will be monitored with the components of green element. Okay, this is a capacity building. We have 2 book chapters and 1 award. This one is silver award. And then we have networking and linkages with the vendors and also UITM. Okay, this is our summary of achievement. The first one is our target achievement. We put here 10% of food premises follow green procurement guideline, but we believe once we finalize the monitoring form, the agreement letter with the vendors and also the guideline, all food premises will apply. I mean, all premises will need to follow the green procurement guideline. Okay. The second one is capacity building. This is done. The seminar is conducted. The third one, the innovation and knowledge transfer. The first one, we have already added the green procurement element in the food premises guideline. And the second one is actually ongoing, the revision of monitoring form, because there are various forms. We still in the process of finalizing, because this involves many stakeholders with different responsibilities. Okay, this is ongoing, but inshallah before the 15th December we can finalize the form, inshallah. Okay, the fourth is the community engagement. This is done. Networking and linkages also we have done. Guideline and standards, we have done it, but it's still waiting for the kelulusan from the pengurusan. And then publication, as I said before, we have actually to have 2 book chapter, one with the insight and one with the sustainability. The extra one is actually we want to develop a system for monitoring green procurement, but this one only for pilot. Okay, so this is examples of forms that we modified. This the guideline, and this is one of the form. Actually there are many other forms. Okay, thank you, that's all from me. Any question?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Liana. Can I start with I have a question? I'll start with the question. Yeah. Among your stakeholders and in achieving your KPI, trying to achieve your KPI, that is very important that enforcement is being done and it's actually embedded in the contract document itself, which I think you are in the process of doing with Bendahari, right?
Yes.
What about engaging with the Jawatan Kuasa Canteen or PTJ?
Yeah, that one is we have engaged with PTJ. As for now, I engage with FSKTM, wakil from FSKTM. So we have some feedback on how actually they monitor the process.
Okay. Yeah, if you can actually incorporate the green aspect, yeah, for procurement, and it should be one of the criteria for the assessment for the Jawatan Kuasa Canteen, it would actually be very meaningful so that it can be adopted and replicated campus-wide, yeah?
Yeah, because the forms that we are revising will be used by all faculties lah when it's finalized. Because everything will go via perolehan, via procurement. So procurement is the one who will be send all the forms to PTJ, the AJK canteen, and also with to PPHB and OSH.
Okay, I look forward to that actually. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. SK.
Yeah, for vendors, actually there is in our plan, but as for now, since we have a very low response from vendors, so now because the time we only have like 1 month to finish, I'm focusing on the enforcement. But after we finalize all the form, we will have some training or a talk with the enforcement staff lah. So to make sure they understand on how to fill in the monitoring forms. Maybe the next stage, if the project is continuous, then we can focus on vendor next year. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Adit, Prof. Adit said no question, and Cik Ramzi also no question. Puan Sharifah, any question from you for this project? No question. All right. We look forward to the completion of your project and to the widespread adoption and implementation, because as you know, your project is very crucial. You're the one and only covering the UMECB Eco-Campus on green procurement. And I think very importantly, we need to remind that, you know, if we want to reduce our environmental burden as a campus, what we bring into campus has to be sustainable and green, so that it doesn't create more adverse effect or negative impact, not just in campus, but also to the output or to the environment. Thank you, Dr. Liana.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
All the best.
Thank you all. Thank you.
So I'd like to now invite our next presenter. Our next presenter would be Dr. Nurul Afika Nazira Mansour. She will be presenting on her project entitled Study on Electrical Distribution System in UM for Power Loss Reduction and potential cost savings. So this is another project supporting the energy sector of UM. The floor is yours, Dr. Nurul. Dr. Nurul, are you there?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. Okay, so I'll be sharing my slide. Okay,
Please proceed, please proceed.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. I am Dr. Nurul Afika Nazira binti Mansur from Department of Electrical Engineering. I am the project leader. I am the leader for this project on study on electrical distribution system in UM for power loss reduction and potential cost saving. So I am doing this project together with Professor IR Dr. Hazlim Mukhlis from the same department and Mr. Muhammad Faris Ali from JPPHP. So the project falls under core area energy management, which supports three main SDGs, which is SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, SDGs 11, sustainable cities and communities, and SDG 13, climate change, climate action. So before we go further, I would like to give a brief introduction on what the project is all about. So to start with, we must know that a portion of power will be lost during distribution in the network in terms of heat. So in this case, network reconfiguration or abbreviated as NR can be used to reduce the power losses. So this network reconfiguration is actually the process of changing the existing network topology by changing the switch status from either open to close or close to open. So the lower the losses, the more efficient power delivery is, and that will directly translate to a much lower bills. So to give you an idea on how much power consumption every year and how much is our bills annually. So the chart on the right give the figures. So you can see that the total bills for 2007 amounting to 32 million, 2018 30.8 million, and 2019 is 31.59 million. So that's quite a lot amount of money. So for 2020, we can expect that the total bill would be much lower because of the MCO, CMCO, and the likes. But then the mechanism on how to improve the network, to improve the power delivery efficiency remains the same. So if I could highlight, among the benefits of network reconfiguration is to balance the loads and prevent from feeders overloading, to minimize the power losses, which is the main objective of this research project, to improve the voltage profile of the load buses in the network, and network reconfiguration also help to improve the network efficiency and reliability. So to give you an idea on how this network reconfiguration is done, so if you can look at the bottom picture on the left side, this is the original network. So if you focus on the bus 9 here, it is actually it is originally supplied from the middle feeder, and the line connecting bus 3 and bus 9 is open. So after network reconfiguration, we transfer bus 9 to the first feeder by opening the line connecting bus 9 and bus 7. So this is how the network reconfiguration works in actual. So having an idea what the project is all about, I would like to go more details into the project. So first thing first, I would like to highlight the main objective of the project. The first one is to collect data on the power in and power out within the campus, so that we could proceed with the second objective of the project, which is to model the functional distribution network, so that we could do some analysis on the network to come up with a solutions for actual implementation. And finally, the third objective of the project is to perform a cost-benefit analysis to propose on optimal network reconfiguration for improved power delivery efficiency and to reduce the total power losses in the network. The project was given a budget of RM 22,000. So most of the budget went to paying wages and salary for the research assistant for this project. So as of now, we have a balance of 3,700. Which will also be used to pay our temporary research assistant for this project. This is the summary of the key achievement of the project. So the first achievement is modeling of distribution network. So this first achievement tied to the first and second objective of this project, which is to the target is to have a complete model of distribution networks using power system software. So as status as of now, we have successfully modeled a complete functional distribution networks using ETAP power software, where we have done the analysis to come up with the optimal network configuration that would produce a much lower power loss. The second key achievement of the project is to propose the optimal network reconfiguration that would reduce the total network losses by 8 to 12% compared to the previous year. So status as of now is we have successfully implemented a new network configuration by changing the status of one pair of switches in the network. So we have done this together with the help of JPPHB team, qualified personnel from JPPHB team. We can see if I would like to go to Appendix B to show our analysis on the power loss reduction using the proposed network reconfiguration. Okay, so if we retain the network configuration in the as per previous years, then the power losses would amount to 200. The total power losses is around 229 kilowatt. So that translates to around 443 thousand financial loss in financial loss. So after, if we do one pair switching and reconfigure the network, we could reduce the power losses from 229 to 206 kilowatt, and that would reduce the financial losses from 444 to 400 to RM 400. So that translates to RM 44K financial cost saving. That is around 10% saving. So, but then if we do all the, if we implemented all the switching all the switching, then we would save a maximum of 113K. But we have the difficulty to implement all the switching configuration because of the risk that would involve would be bigger. So we proceed with one pair switching first to see if our analysis correlate with the actual figures on the improvement. So this is the this chart shows the power consumption usage for the past 6 months from May until October. So you can see in May we still have PKB. In June we have PKPP. So that's why you can see that the power consumption increasing from May to June to July to August, because majority of the staff and student get back to the campus, and we did the network reconfiguration early September. So August and September is still PKPP. So you can see there is a drastic change of energy consumption from 457K to this is the bill. drastic change from the total bills from 457 to 369 66. So we could say that this is most probably due to the network configuration that we have done. However, we could not quantify the percent of total power losses reduction yet as of now, because there is an issue with the data. Some of the data we could not obtain from the JPPHB team to help us to determine the exact percentage of losses improvement. This is because we have no meters at certain dot points that help that would help us to calculate the amount of power losses along the line. We have the total consumption here in PPU2. We have this data. We have the amount of data consumed at each point, but then we do not have this data at G4 and G5. So we do not know the power injected into this line. So we could not really calculate the losses in between this line. So even though the improvement can be seen after the network reconfiguration, however, we still do not have the data on how much the improvement is after we did the network reconfiguration. Inshallah, we'll try to put some effort in getting the data. The third achievement of the project is training for dynamic network reconfiguration. We have completed 2 seminars, one actual training on switching exercise together with JPPHB team, where in the last seminar we have brief the JPPHB team on how we model the network in the ETAP software and how we did the analysis to come up with the optimal solution. And finally, we have the last project achievement is to have at least one conference paper. So status as of now, it is in progress. The book chapter will be submitted by inshallah by end of this month on the project. So that will be all from my side. I open if there is any question for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Nurul. Questions from the panel, please.
Dr. Fika, Nurul.
Yes.
How do you plan to go forward with this? Looking at your projected reduction in the usage of electricity, for me personally, I'm happy already. So what's next?
What's next? We actually didn't apply for the next phase for this project because it's basically the same thing. We did the analysis using the power system software, and then we come up with the next pair of switching that we could operate to reconfigure the network. But then it depends on the discussion with JPPHB team whether they are willing to go through or not. I believe this could be done with the help of JPPHB team. But as of now, I do not know whether it is worth to proceed further because we could not quantify exactly the amount of improvement for the first phase of the project because of the changing in the load demand in the network.
Okay. Perhaps Prof. Smiani, we can consider kalau dia nak continue, dia punya budget datang pada saving yang dia buat pada Universiti Malaya. Macam?
Yeah, I think we need the PhD people, panels to actually respond to this because as you can see, there's a lot of potential in this. Maybe Encik SK ataupun Encik Ramzi ataupun Puan Sharifah because this is, I think, very, very pertinent to take up seriously. As you can see, you know, one of our biggest expenditure monthly for UM is actually our electricity bill. What say you, the panels? SK?
Okay.
Puan Sharifah is passing the baton to SK because I think he's in a better position in the electrical engineering.
Okay, doctor. Can you hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's a good idea when if there is a reduction, then they can support the project from the reduction lah. But as we all know, so far there is a proposal saying that any reduction through the electricity, we get some amount to do other projects lah. But so far, management, I don't think so. There is any green light from them yet. But it's a good suggestion. Maybe we can, after they conclude this project, maybe we can propose on them to continue the project like this.
Yeah, I really hope CSK, Cik Ramzi, and of course Puan Sharifah can actually convince pengarah JPPHB, and now Prof Aziz, a friendly party, should actually you know, really pursue on this, because we have the capacity and we have the people who can actually help Universiti Malaya in terms of cost saving before we transform into the next phase of looking at renewable energy. So yeah, I really have high hopes that our GPPHB panel could bring this up, and even if there's no money at the moment to support, the savings itself could actually be used, like suggested by Prof Adit, to actually help further spearhead this project to be implemented better campus-wide. Yeah, Puan Sharifah and CSK, Cik Ramzi.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, if there's no other question,
I think there is a question in the chat.
Yeah.
From Mr. Irfan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so does this distribution network? Okay, reflecting to this question, I think this project it is conducted in the main line actually, of the campus.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's already answered.
Okay. So, Dr. Nurul, I hope you'll be able to assist and support, and we'll try to actually lobby for the management to actually further expand the project to help Universiti Malaya in terms of not just cost savings, but we are trying to reduce our carbon emission and save the environment here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I think there's also a question in the chat box. Dr. Nurul, if you have time, could you please address to it first before we go to the final session for the Q&A? Yeah. So I have to move on to the next presenter because of the time. Let me introduce our next project. Our next project is actually by the Associate Professor Dr. Ubagaram Johnson Alenggaram. And he will be, I think he's represented by his RA because he's engaged in another meeting now. The project is entitled Plastic Aggregate in Cement-Free Geopolymer and Normal Concretes and Application. So the floor is yours, Dr. Johnson, or Dr. Johnson's representative. Dr. Johnson, can you please unmute?
Yeah, Prof, sorry, I supposed to be my RA, but I don't know where is she because I'm in another meeting here. I'm excused there.
Yes.
Able to see this? I think she's supposed to start. I told her.
Yes, Professor. Yes, I'm.
Please, start. I already presented.
Okay, I'm sorry, I've got to mute the microphone. So, good morning, respected panels, and good morning, everyone. I'm the project research assistant. I'm presenting our project enhancement of property of recycled plastic aggregates in cement-free geopolymer and normal concrete, and application based to our project leader is Associate Professor Dr. Johnson, and our co-research is Professor Dr. Sumiana Yusuf. And our project co-area is the waste management, and we can contribute to SD9 and SD12. So our project objective is to study the mechanical property of plastic aggregates geopolymer mortar, and we will investigate durability of plastic aggregates geopolymer mortar, and we will produced the pavement inside the University of Malaya using plastic aggregates concrete. Our project budget, our total project budget is 22,000 ringgit. We arrange 19,000 ringgit in wages and salary, and we arrange 1,500 in supplies and other materials, and we arrange 1,500 in professional service and other service. And we go to the project achievement. Our project target is to enhance the mixdown and reduce the cost. Now we established the mixdown and we achieve our target compressive strength 20 megapascal. We can see the appendix A. And our capacity building target is to conduct one seminar. Now we conducted one seminar from 22 to 13 January 2020. And our innovation knowledge transfer target is incorporate volume-based design and utilize plastic aggregates in concrete as pavement. We built one plastic aggregates concrete pavement in zero waste campaign. We can see the appendix C. And our community engagement target is 1 PhD students and 2 undergraduate students who are trained in this project. Now 2 PhD candidates and 2 undergraduate students are trained in our project. We can see the appendix D. And then we go to the networking and the linkage. Our target is to cooperate with overseas university. Now we cooperate with Indian University. We can see the appendix C. And our publication target is to publish at least one ISI indexed or scoped paper. And now we published JCR1 paper in July 2020. We 100% achieved our target. So we can see appendix C. Now I think Dr. Johnson will take over this presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lening. I was in another meeting. I just got excused. Can you hear me? Anyone, Prof?
Yes.
Okay. Regarding the volume-based design, this is quite a new development. That means we are having a different kinds of materials, having different specific gravities. So it's not possible to use the conventional design. Therefore, we developed a mixed design called volume-based, because plastic aggregates are very low in density, whereas the sand or other materials, cement or other fly ash that we use, or in other quite different specific gravities. Therefore, we have followed that. Therefore, this mixed design is come into picture. Then the next one, you can see the right side, so it's not so visible. That's all the different kinds of plastics that we used: green, this black and blue, but black and blue we have not shown here because that doesn't give the proper strength. So we got the strength of about 28 megapascal. Our target was 20 megapascal, but we managed to get 28 day, about 28 Newton per mm square. Therefore, we used with the density of around 2000. See, so that's quite good compared to 2,400 density that we normally have it for this conventional concrete. So the capacity building that I showed, there are some students from overseas. We had from China, we have from some staff from Australia, university lecturers, and from Bangladesh, and from other even developed countries like US. Some people came, so we have have some kind of network, and this is kind of seminar. We had it in January, which Lening just mentioned. Also, we applied this this plastic pavement in this geopolymer concrete house that we built near the bus station. The whole entire pavement is made of plastic aggregate. What you see there inside here, somewhere, this one is this all made of plastic aggregates. This is this whole shape. This one entire thing is under this plastic aggregates. It's quite flexible to walk. We have seen that it's not hard because of the plastic aggregates. Something is good. And in another project that Professor Sumiani gave the space, and as we know, Professor Sumiani is very proactive. and she doesn't want anything to be unnoticed. So she wanted to give it to the public. So this is another place that she has given us as a walkway. So in the end, we use the sustainable bricks, but in the middle, almost 18 meters, 16 to 18 meters, we had this so-called plastic aggregate pavement. So this is quite challenging for us, because we had to bring the mixer from the faculty to this place and make all the materials transported with the help of our zero waste campaign helpers. So we managed to finish it, and now it's open near the just adjacent to that farm land, that where Prof. Sumiani has this zero waste the so-called facilities. So it's a good place, big place, people can see. Also, we had a community engagement with this, as I said, some our students, some of the outside university. It's quite active. Every week we have a seminar. So in that also we have the opportunity to share. We have people from outside, we have people from local. So it's kind of our weekly meeting. Also, we take the opportunity to share. The right hand side is the student, as the research. Left side is the first PhD student, Davish. On the right is Ms. Lini. Just now she presented. She's the current PhD student engaged this work. Also, we have international like people from overseas. They are also linking with us. So it's quite opportunity for us to share with them. So publication, we have one Q1 ISI Web of Science publication recently. So this is also under this project, okay, acknowledge to this project. So with that, I'm actually showing a video, short video, maybe 2 minutes, so that can be useful for our group. Just to show, give me a minute, I will just share that one. The video is somewhere, give me a minute to Okay, with that, I conclude my presentation. I know it's very short, so I would like to take this opportunity to thank our co-researcher, Professor Sumiani, the director and of IOES, and the leader of this, chair of this LL project. Again, thanks to all those who supported us.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Johnson.
Yeah,
I'm part of this project. I think I let the other panels to ask questions, but before that, I would like to reiterate that plastic pollution. Plastic waste is a big major problem besides food waste, not just in campus but also in Malaysia and in the world now. So I really look forward for the adoption of this technology to be implemented, so that at least we can turn the plastic waste into a resource. That's our intention, yeah. Okay, questions from the other panel, please.
Yeah, from me. I will start the ball rolling. Dr. Johnson, as always, from the beginning when I knew about what you're doing in the faculty, I'm very much impressed with whatever you've done. Just two questions from me, more like a request actually. One is what I think this part of your project can be concluded. I think you've achieved all your promises. What is the next part of your project that you plan to do? One, and secondly, more like a request. Can I have a quotation on how much it costs for you to replace the pavement around 12 college? Because I'll be more than happy to try to find the funding for that, and I would like to have your research to be showcased here in 12 college. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so great, Dr. Adit. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Sumiani and Prof. Adit. I would like to, first question is on this, Prof. I just lost the first question. Can you repeat, Prof. Adit?
I just want to know which part of your project would you like to continue, because this part I think concluded already.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. One part is durability. In fact, due to the closure of the laboratories for the last 8 months plus, we had a tough time to complete the durability test. We started that, but it's in between we left it, because it has to be continually soaked in chemical, sodium silicate, acid, hydrochloric acid, and sodium sulfate. But so happened that we mixed it afterwards, we couldn't continue. So that part we put 75%, still 25% we need to complete. Therefore, some project funding still left, and the project is over already last month, but we would like to get it extended for another 3 months to 4 months so that we can complete that part. Still, we have small funding for RA and this. So that part is not complete properly. So that we will continue durability aspect. Secondly, for the 12th college, yes, we would like to check the space first. How big is it? Then we will go and help Prof. And want to the quotation. We will see whether Prof. Sumiani can help small amount in case we have budget. If we as of now we don't have material budget. We are almost close, but we will try. If maybe Prof. Adit can give something from there. I will check the space first. How much? What is the space? What is the volume of concrete that we need? How about the transport costs and labor costs, so on? Then I will give a rough estimate from.
Okay, we can start with the pavement around the lake first, for example, because that's an attraction for people to come here. And with regards to funding, I'm not thinking using UM's money. I'm thinking about outsiders' money. I will try to raise the fund from outside, actually.
That's a great Prof. Yeah, sponsorship great. It's a really great Prof. A lake also is a possibility. We will check and discuss with you, Prof. on that one. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Dr. Adit. Dr. Adit is always very proactive. This is what we are looking for, actually, partnership, enhanced partnership and extending our partnership so that, you know, rather than just depending on the grants that we have, we can also look at other opportunities and avenues for other stakeholders partnership to fund some of our projects, because it is actually also a very good project in terms of CSR for big enterprises and so on, while saving the environment and reducing the burden from especially plastic waste. Any other question from the other panels?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Hello, Prof. Johnson.
Yeah, architect Sharifa. Yeah.
Okay. Your pavement in the ZWC site, it has just been completed, right?
The zero waste campaign completed, architect.
Okay. Can I ask that you put some label on the pavement?
Yes, I have to do it because of this CMCO, and so I couldn't. We want to put up certain places, what materials. We want to have a board so that it can be lasting for many years. So we put up.
Year of completion.
Yes, Prof. Yes, architect, we will do that.
Okay, the label is very important. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you, architect. Really appreciate JPPHP support for all our projects.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Yes, I think labeling is also a means of communication and creating of awareness. We will ensure that whatever projects, especially involving infra, should actually have good and proper labeling to actually disseminate the info and also as a means for creating enhanced awareness in campus. No question from Mr. SK. Cik Ramzi, any question from you? Otherwise, I'll move on to the next presenter. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson.
Yeah, thanks, bro. It's without your support, we would have done it. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. So let me invite our next presenter. Our next presenter is Dr. Sugumaran Laki Manikam. He is the PI for the project, RIMBA project, yeah, Biodiversity Conservation by Reconciling Cities and Nature. And RIMBA project is one of the pioneer projects, including ZWC and also Water Warriors. And his project is actually fully supporting the biodiversity aspect of the UM Campus Blueprint. The floor is yours, Dr. Sugu.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Salam Sejahtera, and good morning to everyone. I am Sugumaran Manikam, presenting the RIMBA project. This is the final monitoring session. Just a very quick introduction. We were founded in 2014, entering our 7th year. The RIMBA project, we are also known as RIMBA in short, continues to champion awareness and appreciation of urban biodiversity, as well as biodiversity conservation and landscape management as part of UM Sustainability and Living Lab Secretariat. Our objectives are 3: integrating campus greening, conservation and landscape management, capacity building for citizen science and conservation, supporting nature education outreach activities at RIMBA Ilmu. So these are the KPIs that was for the past year. We have technically finished or achieved all the KPI, but I would suggest that we look at this first one with this tagging 50 trees and this ecological interpretive materials. Is one small thing pending that we have done all the thing, but we're just waiting for installation. So technically we have done the work, but we cannot do the installation due to the CMCO and MCO issues. Okay, so so here is the KPI, the tag 53. So we have done engraving for 75 tags, and we have passed that to RIMBA Botanic Garden. So that's as I mentioned, we are delayed for that. And our capacity building, we target 2 half-day workshop seminars, but we've conducted 6 sessions of workshops and seminars, all equivalent. For the innovation, technology and transfer, we're supposed to finish 10 guided walks, but just before all these special issues of the pandemic started, we have already done 20, thankfully. So social media publication, we have done 2 social media publication. Interpretive materials, we have done 5 for the same things, waiting to be installed, as I mentioned. We have conducted 2 creative nature programs. For community engagement programs, we are supposed to do 2 as our KPI, but we conducted 12. So for publication, 1 digital publication, we have done 16 the digital publication, small publications, 16. Also here we are pending that 1 chapter that will be published in the Eco Campus as requested by Eco Campus. Media appearances, we've done 1 radio interview and 1 article on Bernama. For network, we have done 1 MOA with a private partnership called Little Urban Forest. So total budget was 10,000. So we are about 90% of it has been spent, and then some issues with the updating and the Bendari and so on. So this is all due to the pandemic issues. So here's another infographic way of saying this. So the engraving materials is done in RIMBA Ilmu. So so far we have done 75 engraving with the machine we have from JPPHP. So here, this is capacity building. We have done most of this before the MCO starts. So we done workshops for engraving, training some staff. We did a dipto no bento workshop, something to do with dip through cups and how it helps out with the daily issues. We've done a workshop as well to what we call as a mock-up sun print workshop. We have trained a few people with the help of personnel called Balkis Tajali. She's a presenter from outside. She came in and trained a few people. So in collaboration, we did this here, and this is again to run a workshop later on. So yeah, so on 8 January, we did a Bulo in the City workshop. This is basically to train the volunteer guides. The Bulo in the City program itself was run on another date. So we trained some volunteers to run that workshop later on. 18 February, we did a engraving workshop with students. We thought that we can use the help of the students to create as much engraving materials as possible. That's why we trained some students. So this is a 10 guided walks we are supposed to do, but we did 20. Essentially, we thought we could do many more. But because by the month of February, we actually done 20. So we could actually triple or maybe could have reached about 100 guided walks, but that would have created some sort of income, but then this couldn't be done due to the pandemic. So here the list of is a screenshot of the publications we did, social media publication, 11 in all. So this is like what we find around us. So our RA was very active. She looked at what little things that we can find around and wrote up a lot and put it up in the internet so that everybody could access it. So a total 11 posters were produced. So also we did a poster on bamboos. So what is the use of bamboo and how can be useful for our daily life and so on. This is actually done with volunteers. And these volunteers were actually doing a course called volunteerism. So they approached us, and so we used them to create this bamboo poster. Here's the ecological interpretive materials that we have already done. This is the very recent one. It did in November. We installed one already, which is in Rumah number 2, but 4 others are waiting to be installed. And we have identified the areas in Rimba Ilmu, but then we just couldn't install because of the pandemic issues. So creative nature program, you've done all this done before the pandemic when the pandemic came about. This is on 5th January. We did a collective fiber workshop and also a cyanotype workshop with Balkis Tajali. This is the actual workshop on what we call as a cyanotype workshop. Before that we did something like this to train those volunteers to help out in the workshop. Also, in 26 September 2020, this is Balkis Tajali here, and she approached us to participate in art science competition that was hosted by Academy Science. So invited us. So we, in collaboration with her, we participated in this competition, and in the process we were shortlisted as basically our project was shortlisted. And it's basically a competition, so we don't know who's going to win. So the result of the winning team will be announced sometime next year, and all these are delayed due to the pandemic. Yeah. So on Knowledge Tower, we did a bit more. We assisted in a book launch in 2nd December last year. We also participated in Biodiversity Forum as well. Our RA participated in that. Basically, how biodiversity can be used as a platform to build business in the private sector in Malaysia. Still others, iNaturalist workshop. We attended the iNaturalist. Basically, a few countries came and participated here in iNaturalist. How they conducted this iNaturalist workshop. They went to Penang, the Habitat Penang, and then those people who have done iNaturalist workshop before basically shared their experience. So Shu, our RA, attended, And then we have Kyron, who was our previous RA who conducted this iNaturalist workshop. Basically, iNaturalist is a way of documenting biodiversity that's found around us. It's basically a competition worldwide. So using that app, so you can do it now, but you can basically, that is a competition done throughout the world. So for community engagement, some gotong royongs were done, and here are the dates. Basically, we did this in Rumah number 2. We did a meet and greet with the Rimba project volunteers. Again, this is done 18 October. 18 January, we did the actual bulo in the city. We invited some prominent people to basically talk about what bulo, how bulo can be useful to us. And basically, also they talked about conservation and how conservation ideas can be transmitted into the public at large. So we invited Angela Hijas, for example. So on the others, during the lockdown, we did Insta Live interview. We call it Insta Live interview. We invited people who are active in their own field, but all biodiversity related. And then we asked them to do a live program. Yeah. So this is shared in the YouTube. We have done YouTube videos, and that is shared in public. And also we done posters to that. So here's a list of what we did, all right, and a few people we invited, including some students who are really active, or undergraduate students, also postgraduate students are really active in this regard. Okay, here's again all of those Insta Live interviews. And here's the publications. We have done all these publications and we've passed to the Eco Campus Secretariat, one on Simbang Bulo and Bulo University. All of whatever that we did, we have written up and we have presented that to the Eco Campus Secretariat to be reported, to be compiled. Sorry. So here's the Insta Live reports. These are the PDF versions. So we also have the YouTube version, which is on the left, right? And our RA actually did actually a little skit on Earth Day, basically alerting everybody that Earth Day is coming and what they should do. Yeah. Also, with the requests of the Eco Campus Secretariat, we did what best practices during the lockdown. So we came up with 4 different things. So what we can do, basically, how to conduct wildflower garden, plants for food, increase biodiversity in the garden, and so on. So also a little write-up on the bee day. When the World Bee Day came, we did a little write-up on what kind of bees that we found around us. Here's a shot that we did a MOA with Little Urban Forest, that Professor Sumiani herself attended together with our dean. Here's a what do you call, a write-up on Bernama, reported in the Bernama news, and also here's a screenshot on the radio interview that Shuhada actually attended, our RA. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Sugu.
Yeah.
Great progress. Any questions from the other panels?
None from me as well. I think this is a very good project from the beginning. I wish you all the best, and I hope to continue whatever you're doing, because you have quite a huge followers, especially in terms of the our younger generation. They like this kind of Insta Live thing, YouTube thing. So I really hope that this can be continued in the future. Well done.
Thank you, Prof. Adit. To be honest, it's the Insta Live interview itself. It's very new to me, and I'm very thankful for my RA, who's actually looking for many different ways to come up with all these fantastic things. All the current generation is all creating all this. So my job is just to assist them as they move on. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. So I think it's also a good example for the other projects to engage with more stakeholders and to the wider audience, especially to inculcate this interest and awareness to the younger generation, our students especially. They like this kind of programs. So I think we can actually emulate what Rimba has done in disseminating and also creating the interest and awareness. Thank you, Dr. Sugu, for the presentation.
Thank you.
All right, all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's move on now. We have our next presenter. So the next presenter is actually from the same faculty, which is from Faculty of Science, Dr. Suraya Malik. She will be actually presenting on the Living Lab system, which is actually a software or app application that she has actually developed so that we can integrate all the Living Lab facilities and projects and also data to be used in a more holistic manner. The floor is yours, Dr. Suraya.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Sumiani, for the introduction. Okay, so share the screen. Okay, I'll present. Share screen. All right, so basically the system is already complete. We are just waiting to permission to go into because it's already movement control again to be uploaded in the server, because we can't do anything without entering But nevertheless, all the Chamhui has been working really close with Khadri in getting all the requirements, and Chamhui is actually the developer of the system. Yeah, so can you share? All right, so basically all the requirements that has mentioned, we have worked closely with all the other stakeholders, JPPHP, the electricity, the biodiversity, and as well as, main person is, Mr. Fadli that's handling the UI Green Index. Okay, so basically this is the whole system. We already completed all the modules so far. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the UMH2O, which is for the water management. We have the admin is to do the setting, include all the users. And then we have the biodiversity module, waste, electricity, landscape, green index, and finally the maps. So I'll just show you each module since, okay. So the first one we'll go for with the UMH2O, as you know, this is for the lake water quality monitoring, where you enter the, what do you call that, I'm just using a sample lake, which is Ana Endau, and then the date, and then we can generate the hard index, and then see how clean the water is. But then in the upgraded version, which we are going to upload in the server, we are integrated with biodiversity, means water and biodiversity together. All right, next, okay, this is just for educational purpose, where you can generate the, what do you call that, the eco heart. Okay, and we move on to our biodiversity. All right, biodiversity module, where we already integrated this with iNaturalist. So it's not necessarily limited to So now we can just select any location, right? And we can view it on Google Maps, the species distribution. Not only that, we can view the, we can have a look at, we can see the species richness, the Shannon diversity and census index, which may be useful for some of the researchers as well. So, okay, and in here, this is an example. This data has been taken from iNaturalist. Yeah, this is for Okay, so it's really easy. We just select the area and we can generate. So now what we are doing is we are not depending on only researchers or JPPHP to collect information and data on the plants. We can also use the general public. So it's not limited for area. All right, to use and display the information about the plant, okay, and it is good for our, what do you call it, green index, inventory and archiving of biodiversity species in university. Okay, then we can generate based on this information, right? Okay, from the iNaturalist. All right, we can generate the biodiversity species distribution report based on the selected dates. So it's quite easy, user-friendly, where you can just use the calendar to select, and you can see the species distribution for each faculty in University of Malaya. Okay, for waste, we have worked with the waste RA, where the requirement for waste is mainly to monitoring, right, the amount of waste that has been generated in and this can be used for their green index reporting. So we have generated how much waste is generated for yearly, monthly, in graphical presentation. You can change the graph format as well, line or bar graph. Okay, and then we have different reporting types, okay, percentage of waste by category. So you can see these are the total waste produced in Universiti Malaya as whole, all right, and from a particular date. And then this is the percentage of landfill and land recycle, details in UM. Okay, next we'll go on to these are the report. Again, we can generate yearly, monthly, or daily for a date chosen. Okay, and electricity module, where you can view the electricity usage across each faculty. Okay, this is for IPP for monthly usage from 2000 to 2020, or you can select a more recent date, and then all the reports can be exported for further analysis. This is also carbon emission based on the electricity usage for transferally. Okay, and we also have included a Google view of the efficiency of the energy use in UM, where green means we are very quite efficient in electricity usage so far. Okay, and in terms of the data management, all right, so now we go to the green index reporting. Okay, after we have went through all the modules, we go to the green index reporting. We already completed all the reporting so far, all the reporting modules. So the system is completed actually. So based on this, the admin will select which user can enter the information. This is needed for the green index reporting purposes. So the admin will set the access level. In this case, the admin is partly right. Will set will set the access level for each user. So if you are, for the user for waste, you can only go, enter all the information on waste. So, or if it's a user for electricity, what information that needs to be done. So for the, reporting purpose, for the green index, no, you do not have to, ask the, each individual PI or researcher to submit. They can just access the system and, upload the necessary data. So we have shown here, okay, this is the admin access, okay, for waste, what information that they needed. They can select from the file, or they can also download the information, right? And they can export into a report format. And then, okay, so you see this is the outcome, right, that can be used for archiving of the information, okay, and then we also have, I'm just showing 2 reports because there's so many reports there, and then this is for the land use, right, okay, land area, so you can just select the area of interest, and we can have a look what is the, the area, in
area of the
area of DTC, sorry, I can't see it clearly. Area of DTC in meters squared. This is for the green index requirement. So you can actually select how many area is covered by greenery, how many, and then it will be automatically calculated here on the map and can be used for our green index requirements. Do you want me to go through all the other reports? I've just mentioned all, a few, and of course we already have the hard files, right, for all these things to be done. You just have to get some, access to UM to upload the whole thing inside the server. So basically, this is what we were doing the whole year due to the movement control. We are not able to work on site because we need to be there to upload and make sure everything works and integrate it in the UM server. But however, we managed to complete all the all the modules, and once it's already uploaded, then only we can continue doing, even though the project is ended, but we are, as due to the MCO and all that, we are, still continually doing, all the web seminar, okay, to, to train the users to use the system and as well for maintenance, FOC. And any more question? So far, we already managed to come up with 1 publication, ISI Index, on the Eco Heart system, and we are also writing about the biodiversity system, which we have integrated the water. We are not showing it here because we have not published it, but the system will put it. Okay, all right. So, any question?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Soraya.
Yeah.
Questions from panel?
Hello, Dr. Soraya, this is Dr. Adit. I think I've been following your project from the early part of it, and I'm really glad that it's now completed.
Yes.
But what about the buy-in process? Who else have you talked to about this? I
About
think
what?
The buy-in process. Who else have you talked to? You keep on saying that you're waiting for GPHB, waiting for GPHB. But
No, I
another
mean to
important
install.
aspect.
No, we have
Yeah,
to install it inside the server. That's the reason why we had some issue, right? Getting the
I
server.
understand, but you need to get people excited about the software as well, you know.
Oh,
Once they get excited, and then they can use it lah, and help
yeah.
you
No,
to
because I cannot get
fill
them
up the
excited
data.
first because I have to install it. Then only I can, promote it. So once it's already available in the server, then I will definitely, market it.
Is there any issue? Is there any issue, Dr. Suraya?
Yeah, issue. Oh, yeah. Yes, please. Okay, I'll leave it to Mr. Cham to answer the issues. What is the issue, Mr. Cham?
Actually, we are trying to set up. I think around few months ago, but the MCO things makes us very hard to access to go into the these days. So actually, we try to get some permission to go into UM to set up the whole thing again.
Yeah. That's right. We had issues with the server to configure it. It took some time to learn because we are transferring from our cloud to the server in which is like a different setting.
Yes.
So that's the time taken there. And then we cannot be there on site. There's limited time frame and access. That's it. So, but once we are, because the system is ready, it's just transforming from transferring the system from one platform to another. That's it.
Okay, that means you are, only pending the CMCO issue lah. Otherwise, I think the
server is settled.
The server is already there, and I think you've gotten PTM and JPPHB's buy-in to actually use this system, because it's very important and crucial, so that once it's uploaded, then we can really do the full-scale
marketing.
So that each PTJ can actually, send their personnel for training, how they can actually use this available system to monitor their environmental performance and data.
Yeah.
Be very useful for the university, especially for our reporting and practices. Okay, so I hope you sort it out, because I think everybody is affected by the MCO, CMCO and MCO and all that. But having said that, as I think, even though if you are not continuing what you have already completed, but I hope you see through so that the full systems implementation and installation is complete, so that we can make use of the system.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, we are continuing to do the monitoring, transferring everything for the next 1 year. So even though we are not continuing with the project, we'll be fully involved until we are we are able to train the personnel, and then the maintenance would be handled by Mr. Cham. So there's no issue in the in monitoring involved.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other questions from the other panels?
Yeah, just one. Dr. Suraya, who exactly did you talk to in PTM or JPPHB?
JPPHB, Mr. Cham, kita cakap. The server thinker, Puan Sharifah, because a lot of people talk
the server thinker. The handing over to, who will it be to?
Oh, that one kita tak decide lagi, because kita nak install dulu. Then we can train the user, and then we can I think most likely is Anwar, right, from the electricity.
No, the server is another person.
Server dengan Wari
Encik Wari, yang electricity Encik apa Anwar? Encik Anwar. So maybe Encik Anwar kot, we have not, we have, tak adalah go through with him in detail, but then basically he have the computer science background and everything to handle the whole system.
Okay. So not PTM lah kot, it's JPPHB.
No, it's JPPHB, because so far the best candidate is Encik Anwar, because he is from computer science, faculty, and it will be good for him to, actually manage it on top of Encik Cham.
I hope you follow up and make sure that Encik Anwar and Encik Wari are engaged seriously, so that if once it's completed, they can actually handle the system lah, JPPHB.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Suraya.
Thank you so much.
Moving on, I'm going to invite our next presenter. Our next presenter is Dr. Nur Aisha Abdullah. She will be presenting on the project UM Water Warriors Integrated Water Management The floor is yours, or the screen is yours, Dr. Aisha.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone, Prof and everyone. I'm Aisha. I will be representing Water Warriors for today's final monitoring session. As you're aware, I've been replacing Dr. Zida for a while for this year because Dr. Zida was away for her sabbatical leave. And these are the team members, and we have added 2 more RAs to our existing members. They are Muhammad Yusuf and Alia Shafiqah. As you know, Water Warriors is a campus sustainability living lab for integrated water management. We work on the supply and demand side, and we try to integrate both sides into our work. And currently we have Kita as a university-based NGO or social enterprise. And for this phase, that is, we are now in fifth phase. 3 objectives to be achieved. The first one is to experiment with the development of Water Warriors as an independent university-linked entity. And second, to enhance pilot projects from phase 1 until 4 for both parts of project conservation and water consumption. And lastly, on the integration, to integrate Water Warriors activities into long-term projects and the university planning. And so far, we have achieved 90% of our targets. All right. And now we move on to the first part, that is conservation of water bodies. These are all the activities that we have done along our green bed area. It's on the enhancement of constructed wetland and stream project at Severity. So we've done some cleanup and place-based interpretation of that Severity, and also working together with Dr. Johnson's team on Flexi Arch Bridge construction. And then we also managed to do some pollution mapping of campus. Normally a fund or researcher will directly email to the person in charge, which if we have found any polluted area in the campus. And we work closely with JPPHB and OSHI. And as you can see, these 2 pictures explain the monitoring that we have done during MCO and after MCO. We can see the water is much more clean and clearer during MCO, because all the cafes and commercial premises in the campus were closed. So the water much more clearer, because normally all the waters from the premises will go straight into the river, where we should have a effluent treatment, water treatment, before the water from the premise go to the river. And as for Rumah Nombor 2, we managed to develop the house into a Water Educational Information Center and also place-based environmental center. We have organized a lot of talks and workshops, also events, and we have a DIY rainwater harvesting and also water filtration center. And for your information, all the tools that we are using in the house are cakap air or water efficient tools. And these are all the activities that we have done at the house. And we also work on the production of valuable items or using upcycling plastic machine. These are all our source of plastic from the recyclable drop-off in front of Rumah Nombor 2, and from UMZW campaign site, and also many cleanup events, activities at the rivers. And from the waste, we managed to produce many valuable items. These are all the machines and tools that we to produce all the items, and these are all the products. We have promised 20 products out of the plastic waste, but we managed to get 21 products. And next, on the development of interpretive space for Green Belt. This is actually under Asia's master project. Asia is one of our researchers. she has done free guided walks at Greenbelt, and she also has done some tree labeling. 23 designs has been created with QR code on the label, and she has developed a website for virtual tour around the campus. This one of the initiatives that is very useful, especially during MCO, because actually our visitor can just go virtually around the campus before they go to the campus itself after MCO maybe. All right, and then on the development of interpretive space for Greenbelt, Asia, we promise to on the development of interpretive signage and also information board. And this additional work on constructed wetland project at ZWC to solve leachate problem are fun. Our researcher has worked closely with JPPHB and OSHI on this, which we sort of give some advice on how we're supposed to do the wetland. And then we also collaborated with FSKTM, Dr. Zati's team, on the application of artificial intelligence, IoT, and robotic technologies for the conservation of water bodies. And next, we are moving on the second part, that is conservation of water consumption. We have enhanced the adoption of rainwater harvesting system at 5 PTJs, and Dr. Fatia is actually enhanced the technology by using membrane technology at Surau API And we have installed 30 items of Cekap Air products around the campus, actually at over 5 selected Surau in campus. And this is our collection of water usage data. For information, from January to September 2020, Universiti Malaya managed to reduce about 11.92% of its water usage compared to 2019. And for the integrated part, currently Rumah Nombor 2 is an operational office cum educational workshop and citizen science center for water warriors and the Rimba project. And for generating income, we have generated currently about 18,345 ringgit and 79 cents from bus renting, space renting, education program, selling the product, Kesah plastic products, Max book poster, plants donation, and also ZWC compost. And we also have won 2 awards and 1 prize, that is Anugerah Khas Ropok 5 as the champion from MBPJ, and also peer-to-peer sharing session. Total of income is 30,645 ringgit and 79 cents. And after we managed to won the award from MBPJ, we conducted various activities at Taman Aman Salim Jaya. These are the activities that we have done. On the capacity building, we went to UK under Newton Unku Omar Fellowship Research, and we managed to do some celebrity training. You can see Magdan and Fimi Don there. And also, we have made UM as demonstration site for the River of Life program for phase 5. And we managed to give some webinars on the capacity building to the community. For innovation and knowledge transfer, we have yet to produce a module on citizen science training, water quality monitoring, and also interpretive space in Greenbelt. For community engagement, we have targeted 10 activities, and we have conducted more on that. And for network and linkages, these are all our network. For internal, total of 18, national 25, and international total of 6. And these are all the publication on social media, website, and videos. We also have been featured on TV shows, bulletin, and newspaper. And our bus has been viral at Rumah Nombor 2, as you know. We have been featured in Millennial, Star, and so on. And we have published a bulletin, some articles in bulletin, also journal article, and also activity book. And we have been invited for various agencies in various focus group discussion. And for yearly project, we did this ongoing towards ranking. We have contributed in UI Green Metric World University Ranking, the Times Higher Education World University Impact Rankings, and also Greenhouse Gases Assessment. And as for financial, currently we managed to spend 96% of our financial. All right, thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you so much, Water Warriors. As usual, very good achievement. No questions from Dr. Adit. What about the rest? Puan Sharifah or SK ataupun Encik Ramzi? Kalau tak ada, I have one short question. You know, like what Dr. Adib asked, the zero waste campaign project earlier. You know, we are, I think the three of us are actually the one of the three pioneer projects. What is the way forward in terms of sustainability of Water Warriors, Dr. Aisha?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, on the future planning of the team, I think Dr. Zida is the one who is eligible to answer that. Dr. Zida, perhaps you want to comment on that?
Right. Okay. Hi, everyone. Is there an echo here? Hello?
No, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so basically for the long term, what we are planning to do is to continue as a social, university-linked social enterprise. The echo lah with my ni, kejap. Okay. Afan, can you answer for because dia ada echo lah on my side?
No, it's perfect, Doctor. Everything is
okay. So what we are planning to do is we are going to continue because we are at the 6th phase of the living lab. Jadi kita kena fikirlah macam mana our founders will, you know, professionally develop, but also at the same time to continue Water Warriors as a living lab on the campus. So what we are doing is we are planning for a two-prong approach. One is to see how Water Warriors can continue helping JPPHB with the current setup under Rumah Nombor 2, but also at the same time we are setting up a university-linked social enterprise called Kita Kita, which is, you know, sort of like a how do you call it, a startup where we will have Afan and Asia leading that social enterprise. I really, it's difficult because it's like echoing what I'm saying. And we are sort of generating income using that social enterprise while before it, you know, spin off after 2 years. So what we are doing now is trying to find an alternative way to generate income, but also at the same time to see how Water Warriors could develop as a, you know, research entity for UM. So I'm very sorry because, you know, I'm talking with, you know, two voices at the same time. Is that okay, Tasmini?
Yeah. I mean, we are hearing it. If you're talking about the echo, there's no echo. By the way,
echo on my part, huh? Sorry.
Okay, maybe on your side. But anyway, we have to think, especially the senior projects, how to sustain ourselves. And I think, of course, income generation is one way of doing it, strategizing so that our income, or be it social enterprise, or you have steady income coming in so that you can support the project. The other thing that I also wish to actually reiterate is, if possible, please make sure that we have all the policies or the guidelines prepared and ready to be adopted, so that at least even if the Living Lab grants are no longer available, at least once you have gotten the buy-in from the respective units and the management, the conservation perspective of our project will be continued. So I really hope that, you know, Dr. Zida and team, besides the projects, the ongoing projects, because you have got many ongoing projects and you have contributed quite a lot. If you can put it into writing, you know, like as a policy or as a part of contract or procurement document, you know, I hope to remind ourselves so that please look at that aspect too, because that will ensure that even if the project is not continued in terms of grant, at least it becomes a norm, an operation norm and adoption by the university. So please look at avenues how it can be incorporated in that manner, Dr. Zida?
Yeah. And also at the same time, Dr. Hazrina is developing a coffee table book on the journey of water waters. And also we are planning to develop some modules for citizen science and also maybe brochures on, you know, what we have done so far. So bila kita exit tu, kita ada something being reported before.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, let's move on. I'd like to now call upon the next presenter. Our next presenter is Dr. Lee Hong Ji. She will be presenting on her project, Safe Disposal of Unused Medications, The Adventure Outward. Dr. Mary Lee, the floor is yours.
Sorry, I'm trying to find a mute. Okay. Wait, let me share my screen first. Good afternoon, or almost afternoon, Prof. Sumiani and also the panel members. And thank you for allowing me to share my project, my final report of this project entitled Safe Disposal of Unused Medicine. And this is our third or fourth phases already, and third or fourth phase already. And here are my team member. Let me start with a video first. This will explain our project. Okay, so based on the video, we kind of get the idea that we are now dealing with medications, and medication have expiry date, and once it's expired, it has to be discarded properly and safely. And to ensure that this medication can be disposed of safely, we have to do it through an incineration method. because this is a scheduled waste, it's a poison. So that is our the most tricky part of the project actually. But if let's say the medication is still not expired, we have to ensure that there will be a reduced in those unused. So this is actually overall cover the project's objectives. Okay, so we have to engage with the public by getting them to dispose their medication safely or educate them to reduce the unused. And for the healthcare professionals, this year we're actually targeting our community pharmacies, and we're supposed to do a campaign, and also the stuff I mentioned about the schedule waste one, that is our trickiest part, and we hope to solve this problem in due time. And the budget given to us is 20K, and we actually use up 91+%. Okay, so this is our target output that we actually set before the project, and I will actually break it down to, and I will present it a point, and each point subsequently. Okay, the main thing is collecting. When we managed to collect those unused medicine returned by the public through PPUM, outpatient pharmacy, despite of MCO, to reach the targets that we set. Set in the beginning of the project. Even if we minus off our November's collection and we only calculate the 12 months, we still reached 1,000 kilogram. It's because it's one of the activities that still can go ongoing during MCO. But if let's say there's no MCO, we could have even get more, because the value is increasing slowly and steadily. And we also try to collect it from other places of other point of collections. Hospital is still the best place to collect all the expired or unused medication from the general public. Okay, so this is one of the things that we achieved 100%. The other few points that we have achieved 100% is we got our second paper accepted in the Malaysian Family Physician Journal. And we haven't published yet. So once published, we will report it in our final report for Living Labs to capture this info. And the two project that I've designed for my undergrad student has completed this year July, and we're supposed to do a mega campaign to promote this event, the safe disposal and use medicine. But we didn't manage to do the big one, but we did a small one. This is the picture. We did it in a BAC, which is actually our collaborator that we signed MOU with, and then we actually set up this station in the campus, where the office is. Okay, and so as I mentioned, the Make It Right movement, the agents or the collaborators that we engage with through our MOU, we still continue the partnership strongly, and by producing all these educational tools, because I don't have the expertise and also the manpower to do that. So they are the one, like just now the video you've seen, actually they polished and did it up nicely for us to be able to use it. And now that video is already viewed it or actually screen it in UMC, various stations and outpatient pharmacies, lobby and selected areas. And we have a leaflets that we actually also have printed, and we ensure that you have dual language, which is in English as well as in Bahasa. Just like the video, we also have an English version. And also these posters, all this also is prepared by the MRM, and we also design one little mascot. So we mainly want to do some branding to capture, to lock in this project is ours. So I submitted our logo to UMCIC for trademarking, and this is something new that, as I say, if it's unused medication that is still not expired yet, you want to reduce reduce it, and also we want to also promote the safe use of medication. So we are now getting into designing some stickers and some cartoons to educate the public, because using words is too maybe it's just too many things to read. But looking at the picture, a cartoon, I think the message will still be able to capture by the public. Okay, so that's a video. Okay, so that is our one of the biggest project that we are in now, which is our engagement with the Caring Pharmacy to do our outward adventure campaign, which is to create a platform for the Caring Pharmacy as a point of collection of the expired medication from the general public. So we started the communication since January, but because of MCO, we delayed it. Then, so starting in July, we get the ball rolling again, and then all the work's done in quite a intensive way. And then at last, on the 16th of October, we managed to launch. We have a soft launch to try out 3 pharmacies that we seems to find maybe it's quite open to this kind of idea. So here is our little launch, and as of yesterday, I was told that they have 21 returns. Actually, they put one in their headquarters or Caring Pharmacy headquarters, and all the staff already start taking part of this project already. Okay, so this is and then we also try to engage. To take part together with the Zero Waste campaign team to set up our station in with the Alam Flora, but this MCO it wasn't go on. You managed to get 2 sessions done. And okay, the in terms of the networking with the MPS is still going. I guess that is the next things that we have to do, but we need to see how is our community pharmacy project goes first. And when our community pharmacy project is already stabilized, then that's when the guideline will be finalized, because the steps what to do have to be set and to revise it through. Then is the guidelines paper then we can complete. And there's a add-on plus point that we actually managed to harvest during the last a special sambutan harga warga mas seminar, where the pharmacists who actually present a talk actually quoted us that this is a project that's ongoing UMC, and as of 5th of October, I saw that there are about few thousand people already viewed the sessions. So I'm sure that they capture the message of of our project. And the main thing, as I mentioned, this one will be our next the next hurdle that we had to capture is how to dispose of this scheduled waste. So HPHP again will play a very important role for us to continue on getting this project done up in a successful manner. With that, I thank you. There's some more, but then there will be our phase 5, the next phase punya project. So with that, I thank you, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Why don't I start the question session? Can you give us, I think I'm very happy with what you've done so far. Can you just give me maybe 1 or 2 minutes description of what you plan to do next for the next part of your work? Yes, just 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. So mainly we are the target community pharmacy. When we look at the collections here, okay, actually in general, healthcare setting will be the only good spot for people to bring in their medication, because it's a scheduled item. We cannot just put a tongue for people to just go and dump just all the recyclable goods, because we actually governed by an act, is a law. So we have to actually find a location and venue that actually governed by the law. So outpatient pharmacy in PPM is one of them, definitely, and this is under our control. So called, I know a staff there, I know the boss there, so it's quite easy to handle. And that, one of the bosses there is actually our member. And so now I'm going into community pharmacy. So this is only about 3. We only have a 3 branch tryout period. The evaluation is supposed to end of this month. next week actually. And then the continuation of this project will be all depends on whether Living Lab still support us or not, because we really need support, especially to dispose of all this scheduled waste. And so the next, so because Caring Pharmacy is a very big branch pharmacy, and then they themselves also have a vision to explore this project, or rather to expand this project. They have, as of now, I know, or last month, they told me they have 130 branches. So they want to solely own this project. I said, why not? we let them handle. I mean, have it so that it's easy for communication and easy to control. You know, and so yeah. So the partnership with Caring Pharmacy hopefully will be able to take off in a very extensive way. And I'm also looking at the mini clinics that I know of to try to also provide some leeway for patients who goes to certain clinics that I know of, to also dispose their medication. Okay, so far that's all I'm planned. And then there's a little, just now I mentioned that there's app. So we also have to expand on the reduce of unused medication. So we have to continue to either is to educate the public on how to reduce unused. And I actually talked to the PPM new boss already, and we are doing something related to this cartoon they were talking about. And also we are actually looking at creating some kind of apps for monitoring the stocks that patients are general public have the medication they have in their homes. So far that's all that we can envision what we want to do next.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all from me. Well done.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Adit. Any other question from the other panel? Yeah, no question from Sharifah. But I have a question, Dr. Lee. The collection that the collaboration that you do with Caring Pharmacy,
Yes.
Who handles the disposal of those waste that is collected, the medication that is collected?
This is now is still our trials. So I'm happy to gauge the weight first. I talked to JBBHP. At this moment, they are willing to help me collect the waste. But next thing that I will actually is actually in my mind. But I have to talk to the zero waste campaign, the tapak there. So if let's say we means we can set up a service, paid service. That means that whoever actually wants to, not whoever, community pharmacies or other facilities that who wants to, not general public, I cannot open to general public, but have to be a facilities that is governed by law. Yes, facilities like a clinical or some other community pharmacy maybe, okay, who wants to dispose of all these scheduled waste, they can come to UM to dispose it but pay. That means we charge them when they dispose, because already have chemical waste collections. There's a service already. And then so for us, if let's say we tambah 1 ton, 1,000 kilo, it's just an additional bit of cost to the UM. So if we can collect back the fees from the public and then we help them throw. I can think of this way because there's no way for us, for outside people, to engage schedule waste company to discard 5 kilo of their waste. That's impossible because also we discard 1,000 kilo, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping the next phase is, let's say our Caring Pharmacy project achieved the targets, right? Then we had to look into talking to JBBHP. We set up a center for people to bring in their medication, expired medication to throw, but we charge them. I don't know. Possible.
Yeah. These are some of the possibilities. We have to be creative because at the end of the day, our main aim and intention is actually to help save the environment and to want indiscriminate dumping of medications that can cause hazards and also impact to the environment. So facilitating, if we can't do it ourselves, facilitating for others would be actually one of the agenda that we can actually look at. So please try talking to JPPHB personnel who's in charge of the scheduled waste and see if we can help to facilitate the collection and also the disposal, because disposal costs money. So we cannot just put and collect and then bear the cost, which will be also that's not the intention But what we're trying to do is actually, one is to, of course, divert waste from getting to landfill site. Of course, first is our target is UMMC, but if we can also work with stakeholders, because at the end of the day, we have to remember our project must have impact to the community. We can actually facilitate it by what you mentioned just now was what I had in mind. So please pursue that and talk to JPPHB personnel in charge of scheduled waste and come up with some strategy. We have Puan Sharifah here She is one of the big boss there, so you can actually always get through her to also coordinate and get to the person in charge of schedule waste in UM. Okay?
Yeah. So I want to thank my RA for tirelessly collecting all this week by week, and now is getting more work to do already. And also I thank Prof. Deborah for initiating this project. Yeah. And Prof. Sumiani, thank you for your full support, and also the panel team as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Mary Lee. And Suchin, she's been diligently very attentive from morning. Good. As usual, I'll have to move on now. We have two more projects actually. So our second last project is from Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Khadri Ilyas. He will be presenting on his project development of renewable energy harvesting system for water flow in Universiti of Malaya. This is the first ever project on renewable energy. We want to embark more on renewable energy sources because that is actually the way forward towards sustainable campus. Dr. Khadri, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sumiani and everyone. So, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the project is about development of renewable energy harvesting system from water flow in Universiti of Malaya. So as mentioned by Dr. Sumiani just now, this is the first project involving a renewable energy system. So before I start, I move on. What is renewable energy? It is actually energy that is obtained from sources that is continuously available, such as solar, water, wind, and also geothermal and biomass. So in this project, we are aiming to develop a system which can harvest electrical energy through water flow, which is a natural water flow. So these are the project members involved, staff from electrical department, Faculty of Engineering, and staff from JPPHB. Okay, so the project objectives are to develop a renewable energy harvesting system from water flow in Universiti of Malaya. So we choose a location in UM that has natural water flow, which is suitable for energy harvesting. And then once we have harvested the energy, we store the energy into a storage system. So this from the energy from storage system can be used for useful purpose, such as charging a handphone, and also any other application that's using low voltage or 5 volt. Okay, so the project budget, we are given 17,000. Mainly, the budget is mainly on the salaries, a small portion on supplies and professional service. So far, we have spent around 65%. Okay, project summary of achievement. So we have 5 KPI that needs to be that we have set. So the first one is on the measurable achievement. Okay, something which can be measured, to harvest 400 watt-hour from water flow per day. So what we have achieved so far is we have already purchased all the items. The system is ready to be installed. It's just that the installation is delayed because of second CMCO. So initially, last time, I think back in 12th October, so we have decided to install the system on 19th of October. But JPPHB mentioned that they need to get approval from their, I think, Ketua Bahagian Electrical and Mechanical. But then after that, suddenly the government announced CMCO. So we have to need to delay after CMCO is over. Okay, for capacity building, we target demonstration of renewable energy harvesting system. So we have achieved it. So we, because of this MCO and also COVID, so we are unable to go to the school to show the physical demonstration to the students. So alternatively, we created a video and shared with some of the secondary schools. So the teacher just forwarded the videos to the student. For innovation technology transfer, so we have developed a prototype. So this prototype can be used for demonstration of renewable energy harvesting through water flow. So we can use this unit to bring from different places to different places for demonstration to either to the school students or residents. So in terms of community engagement, so we did a survey on renewable energy awareness just to assess what is the level of awareness among the community. So we approached some secondary school students and also residents in certain areas in Shah Alam. In terms of publication, so we have targeted one Scopus journal and one conference paper. So we managed to get one Scopus journal and one conference paper accepted. Okay, so these are the items that we will be installing on site. So the items are readily available. It's just that we are waiting for the installation to be done. So we are waiting for the approval from the PPHB, and also after this second CMCO is over. So basically, the items are ready to be installed. In terms of B, okay, so this is example of the screenshot of the video that we use to demonstrate to the community. Okay, so this is the prototype. The prototype, once we have done this prototype, so we use it to demonstrate to a community about how energy is harvested from water flow. So in terms of community engagement, so we did a survey on renewable energy and energy saving awareness. So out of the, I think 2,000 respondents, 2,000 people that we have distributed, we get 1,200 respondents from the survey. So we did some analysis and we published in paper. So we have we have one paper accepted in one of the Scopus journals, which is on the awareness towards renewable energy among secondary school students in Malaysia, and one conference paper, which is IoT-based hybrid renewable energy harvesting system from water flow. So the conference, I'll be presenting in the conference in this December, while the paper will be published in this month or next month. Okay. So that's all from my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hazli. Actually, we are all looking forward for your model to be ready installed so that it can become a showcase. And we hope that after the CMCO, you'll be able to do it. I think you've gotten the approval from JPPHB, right?
Last time they said yes, verbally, but when I sent an email about we want to install, then the person in charge says that he needs to get the approval from Ketua Bahagian.
Yeah, maybe
first.
Dr. Mr. SK, you,
Dr. Azli boleh CC email tu kat saya?
Okay.
Kan,
Pada siapa?
Ya,
SK.
SK.
Kalaivanan.
.view.
Oh, okay.
Panel, kita punya panel. Because he's in electrical. Siapa ketua at the moment dekat JPHB?
Faris Ali.
Sorry?
Encik Faris Ali.
Faris okay. So Cik Hazli tolong CC pada Cik Kalai lah dia tahu because he's a panel. And I think we're all supportive of this. There's nothing, I mean, there's no interruption or anything that will be involved. It's just a model installation. At least we can showcase some, output of a living lab, real renewable energy harvesting. So we look forward to that. Okay, so Dr. Azdi terus hantar email. Okay, good.
Okay.
So I think shouldn't be a problem lah. And then kalau boleh Encik SK boleh facilitate. Ya, SK?
Should be okay because I
Ya,
think
tak ada masalah saya rasa benda ni.
boleh.
And also maybe if you can integrate dengan Rimba, Dr. Tida, Dr. Aisyah and the gang to add on to your features dekat the river. That will be good. Because we want our projects to be integrated and to be comprehensive, and we are not working in isolation, so each and every one of us can actually complement each other, so your installation and your feature can actually add on very well, augurs well with the Water Warriors project and also awareness. Dr. Zida, if you're still around, or Dr. Aisha.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Okay, I was hoping that, hopefully after CMCO, we could actually do some launching, because we have never had a proper launching. We had a seminar, but a proper launching of our living lab projects. Now that we have a new VC and a new TNCP, it'll be great to do a good proper launching and get it, create more awareness to the campus community. Okay, so hopefully things get back to normal. We don't know when, but inshallah, keeping our fingers crossed. Thank you so much, Dr. Hazri. So please pursue. And I see that you're not really using the money, even though you didn't really ask much, but I don't know, maybe you don't really need the money.
Oh, we need the money.
Because you're not really using it up. Everybody is almost finishing, but nevertheless, he's very prudent, and I think also because you have an ongoing project also with UMCS, right? So it's just complementing your work. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Hazri.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, thanks.
Make sure that do a good installation piece, and hopefully we can actually do some media or something to actually showcase this project for renewable energy.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So moving on, I'd like to invite now our last presenter. Last but not least, our last presenter is coming from Academy Pengajian Islam, the one and only researcher that's coming from the Islamic Academy, which is what we want to see in terms of contribution and also participation of our UM researchers. Dr. Asmawati Muhammad is actually from Academy Pengajian Islam. She will be presenting her project entitled Transforming the Role of Surau, API UM or APIUM for Campus Sustainability through Imara Green Project. Dr. Asma, the floor is yours.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah, and good afternoon to all the panels and audience who joined this session. Thank you very much to Prof. Sumiani and to all the panels for giving me opportunity to present the research output of Eco Surau APIUM. The full title of this project is Transforming the Role of Surau APIUM for Campus Sustainability through Imara Green Project. Okay, in this project, I've worked together with 8 co-researchers from various departments of Islamic Studies and Science background, along with JPPHB staff and Cik Ramzi. To begin with, I'd like to shed light on the background of this research project. Okay, Eco Surau APIUM has been conducted under the Living Lab program since 2016 to advocate eco-MOS concept. In the beginning, we want to introduce eco-MOS concept and promoting green practices among APIUM students in particular and public in general. We have taken this initiative first to revive the role of MOS as an excellence center to develop an engaged and ecologically literate Muslims community, which is instilled with religious values derived from the Quran and Sunnah teachings. And Alhamdulillah, along this way, we have transformed Surau Apium into Eco-MOS model and established Imara Eco-Friends, a students club in API, to become the champion for advocating Eco-MOS program in the campus. With regard to Eco Campus blueprints and SDGs, this project has contributed measurable impacts on education and on education management and environment and climate change. Okay, to transform Surau Apium as an Eco-MOS model, we have applied an action and translational research based on the following research objectives. First, to implement Eco-MOS program at the outside community as stated in the proposed MOU with Jawi. Second, to improve strategy for raising awareness on eco-surau practices and community engagement programs at Apium and Surau residential colleges in UM. And third objective, to implement strategic planning for Lestari short profile raising of its function, operation, and contributions to the UM community and outside people. Okay, for the budget, this year we have spent a total expenditure of 19,067 ringgit, which is 95.3% of the allocated budget to conduct programs and activities for knowledge transfer, capacity building, and community engagement. For project target achievement, in terms of project target achievement, our research activities falls into 8 categories. And first, it's about measuring data collection on eco-surau practices itself, which is saving 10% of total pipe water, increasing recycling rate, and also increasing areas in Surau Apium with green vegetation. Overall, we have achieved 100% of our target achievement in this year, except in 2 categories, which is knowledge transfer and others. This is related to the involving MOU signing with Jawi and initiatives to replicate the Eco-MOS model that we have applied in Surau Apium at the selected MOS in Wilayah Persekutuan, and it is postponed due to the PKPB. Okay, green infrastructure, if we can see in this slide, since the beginning of this project, which is 2016, our team and stakeholders have gradually transformed the physical state of Surau Apium by incorporating into it green features. First, we have LED lights, rainwater harvesting, living green wall, Mr. Thimble, and water efficient taps. And these facilities are important instruments for raising awareness, for promoting Eco-MOS practices as well as to implement systematic data collection that contribute to the greenhouse gases reduction and also UI green metric input. Okay. Okay, in this diagram, it represents data collection output for eco-surau practices, the first criteria in our project target achievement. And by using rainwater harvesting, basically we have saved 10% of total pipe water use, and we have reduced the usage of regular pipe water for wudu purpose, especially it is calculated 13,000 liters from the usage of rainwater harvesting system. But during the MCO, water meter reading was also affected and fluctuated due to less water consumption at the Surau Apium. For the second category, we want to increase 10% of recycling rate. And for recycling activity, we have two mechanisms. First, recycling corner, and second, Lestari shop. For recycling corner, latest activities for this year is that I can illustrate in this diagram is we have co-organized recycling activity between Alam Flora 3R on Wheels on November last year, where people from and nearby communities participated in collecting recyclables, and participants have succeeded to collect 3,046.5 kilogram recyclable stuff with paid as incentive of 1,057 ringgit and collecting Petronas Mesra Point. Okay, and after MCO, we continue with a recycle campaign for used cooking oil among Apium staff, but the number is not quite significant since many of our staff work from home. So only very little sent to us for this program, for this campaign on used cooking oil that we sent to ZWC. Okay, for third category is to increase 10% of surau areas with green vegetation, and if we can see in this diagram, it keeps increasing from the first year of this project, which is 131, and until now we have 213 plants, including basically for green vegetation, this project has transformed the barren backyard, surau backyard, into a community planting area and relaxing spot for students and staff. And this site now is known as urban garden, made up of edible vegetables such as pandan, serai, kunyit, ubi kayu, and also we have flowers in the planter boxes, and vertical farming structures, tires recycled into plant pot holders. Okay, and this is Lestari shop. Lestari shop is the second mechanism to use in this project for 3R campaign, as well as this is the mechanism for us to translate Quran and Sunnah teachings of giving charity through closed donation. And we have initiated this premise for sustaining operational costs for Imarah Eco Friends to conduct green activities and programs related to Eco Surau Apium. Basically, Lestari shop serve as a collection center for people to donate pre-loved items like clothes, shoes, books, toys, etc. And after we receive this item, it will be carefully categorized because only good items will be put on the rack for green sale and redistributed or donated to the community through Eco Free Market, or the latest program that we have here is Eco Bazaar Jariah Back to School, which is conducted by IEF on December last year. Okay, with the team Back to School, and they have managed to collect donation for school uniforms, textbooks, shoes, bag, and stationeries. And this project have collaborated with NGO Eco Free Market Masjid Al Khadijiyah. This is Ustaz Shahril, Imam in Masjid Khadijiyah, and the participants who receive these donations, most of them come from the B40 community. And this is during the MCO. We managed to collect a donation to give to our cleaners, which is 28.3 kilogram. With regard to revenue generated from Lestari shop this year, we have three categories. First, green sale, which is 438, Kokedama workshop, we have 247, 60 cent, and metal straw, which is a campaign among the students and staff to buy metal straw, and we sell the metal straw. 366, and the total revenue generated from Lestari shop 1,052 52 cent. Okay, and for recycled textiles, items which have already torn and stained that we have received in Lestari shop, we send to White Box, which is managed by ZWC. And for this year, we have to, after we have sort out, it is about 97.3 kilogram cannot be used in the Lestari shop. But we still proceed to recycle this damaged fabric and send to the white box. Okay, now I'd like to share about capacity building. Okay, for capacity building, perhaps I could illustrate some story of how this organization of Imara Eco Friends get started. In the beginning, we have initiated a small group of volunteers among students who registered in the courses that I teach in my department, that is Reveal Knowledge and Natural Phenomena, and the other courses is the History and Sociological Science and Technology in Islamic World. So these small groups have formed their organization as Imara Eco Friends, and after that, IEF was officially established as a students club on August 22nd, and until now it has attracted 111 students, undergraduate students of API from various departments and level of studies, and they have been known as green volunteers in APUM. So throughout the 4 years of this project, IEF are our champions and anchor for running programs related to sustainability agenda in the campus and outside UM. So among the mechanism that we use for capacity building of IEF group members are related to mentor-mentee sessions, interaction day, sustainability talk, and sustainability talk at Surau APUM, and also Surau residential colleges, and others is about booths, exhibitions, hands-on activities like kokedama and so forth. Okay, now for knowledge transfer, we have organized continuous sustainability talks and webinars, and for the special highlights is about the webinar on Eco Surau itself with the title Surau Lestari, Pengalaman Eco Surau, and inshallah in this program they have four presenters from team researchers, including me, Datuk Zulkifli Yusof, Dr. Ali, and Dr. Husna. And we have invited Jawi officials from the Division of Mosque Management and AJK Masjid in Wilayah Persekutuan to join this session as well. Okay, and next is about the collaborative work that we have with Jawi, basically starting from 2018 when we co-organized Carnival Imara Eco Mosque or Karim. Okay, and it is followed by the first meeting with Jawi Director Tuan Haji Muhammad Adit in the direction of implementing knowledge transfer, capacity building, and community engagement program to the outside mosque in Kuala Lumpur. We are preparing the MOU draft with Jawi, and now we are ready, in fact, to go to the extra mile, and it is our commitment to proceed with MOU signing between UM and Jawi. Okay, and previous meetings, in fact, have following discussions with Jawi, which is the latest one was RTD discussions on mapping strategies for Masjid Hijau, and the blueprints of these roundtable discussions is documented in the Pelan Pengimarahan. This is the book, Pelan Pengimarahan Masjid-Masjid Wilayah Persekutuan, and it is can be referred in page 30 to 31 under strategy 5, menjadikan masjid di wilayah persekutuan sebagai masjid hijau. So output of Imarah Green Project, in fact, we have summarized and put in this buku garis panduan. Okay, and last meeting with Jawi was happened when we have Ecomos discussion and site visit to Masjid Al-Mutakin Wangsa Melawati, Kuala Lumpur, and output of this discussion, Jawatan Kuasa Masjid agreed if we can have a collaboration with them, and they want to apply the model that we have applied in Lestari Shop especially. Okay, and next. Okay, and we already prepared the infographic poster as suggested by the panel in previous session, which is to be distributed to residential colleges. And in fact, this infographic poster is summary of this booklet, Garis Panduan Masjid Lestari Hijau. Okay, and last slide, I think this is collections of the colorful events that we have before MCO on March, and until now continues to PKPB. So I think these colorful events of Imarah Green Project in fact provides mechanisms for Muslim community to support SDGs by mainstreaming the role of Ecomos project in education management for environment and climate change. With that, I thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Dr. Asma. I'm very happy and very thrilled with the progress of this project because it has got profound implication, not just to UM, but also we are trying to actually exert and extend our knowledge and our practices, good practices to mosques in Kuala Lumpur. This is the bigger agenda of our project. Thank you. So I open now the floor for the panel to ask any questions.
Saya tak ada question, and I just want to record my comment that I'm really proud of it, to have this kind of project here in UM, because this is the kind of project that we want to see in UM as the #1 university. Even our surau pun can be a contoh. I think this is a very good project, and I really hope to see what's next can be done with this. Thank you. Well done.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Adit. Yeah, I remember when we first incepted the idea, when we started the Living Lab run, Dr. Asmawati came to see me and was asking for suggestions and idea on how what she can do to apply for the grant. And I told her, you know, you green your campus, our campus surau, and from there you'll see how it can actually flourish and how it can have a ripple effect or domino effect, because surau or masjid is actually the nucleus of societal center, and we can impart this sustainability knowledge, awareness, besides as part of our ibadah. That is actually what is the main intention of sustainable or our eco campus initiative. There's no question from Puan Sharifah. What about Mr. SA or Mr. Ramzi? If no questions from the panel, thank you so much, Dr. Asmawati.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you all the panels.
All right. I think we have successfully concluded all the 13 Living Lab project presentations. This is basically a seminar come panel, final panel assessment for the progress and also the successful implementation of the Living Lab projects in Universiti Malaya. as we strive towards making Universiti Malaya a truly eco campus, yeah, in line with our academic excellent aspiration. We also want to excel in terms of our sustainability agenda. So now we open up for Q&A session. Yeah, we have maybe like 10 minutes before 1. I know it's almost lunchtime. We did overshoot a little bit of our time. That's normal. But if there is any questions from the other participants, now we open the floor. I know some of you have already written your question in the chat box and it has already been addressed or answered by some of the PI or the our researcher. But if you have any other further questions, you are free to actually speak out, and also you can direct any of your questions to anyone amongst us or even to the panels for any comments or any feedback. Any questions? Anybody wants to speak out? If you have, or you want to post direct questions to any of the researchers. Looks like everybody is already tired or hungry. Okay, so no questions, yeah? Or even among the researchers themselves, if you have any questions to ask the panel, you can. This is the time. Okay, otherwise, I think everybody is happy with the presentation. As no question means hopefully there is no more issues to be raised. Let me just, before we take our final photo session, just a little concluding remark, yeah, to all. And on behalf of Universiti Malaya and the Sustainability and Living Lab Secretariat or UMSLLS, I would like to extend once again our heartfelt appreciation and thanks to all Living Lab teams in making the sustainability journey a successful chapter. Despite the adversity that we are dealing with, pandemic COVID-19, and also my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to our panel for being very supportive, and also to the audience who had stayed on till the end of the webinar. As in higher education sector, the tradition to ascertain functions of varsity in the nation is ever challenging with the fulfillment of main pillars of sustainable development, which are the incorporation of the economic development with environmental sustainability and social justice. So we should not be left behind by reconfiguring the limited resources and balancing each target of the sustainable development goals through co-creation and innovation within sustainability spectrum. And we should and would be able to address our common goals holistically for a better planet Earth. And it is also at most important for us to play a more active role in the example of Living Labs. We strongly believe that collective actions in coordinated and concerted manner would be the key and way forward to address multi-dimensional challenges cutting across economic, social and environmental pillars. Hopefully with the guidance of the Campus Blueprint or UMECB with its 8 core areas mapped against the 17 SDGs, we are on the right track towards SDGs by the year 2030, hopefully, inshallah. Progress takes time. Progress requires commitment and pledge from you and every one of us to achieve those goals. And we hope this sharing session have benefited you with the tools and know-how to kickstart your sustainability journey, no matter where you are on this earth, even at individual level or organizational level. So with that, please allow me to conclude this webinar with a quote. You must be the change you wish to see in the world, as quoted by Mahatma Gandhi. So to all, be different, be the change, stay safe, and thank you all again. So I hand over the session back to our chairperson, Fazli, and maybe a quick one, photo session before we leave.
All right. We'd like to request everyone to switch on your camera. In a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and put up your best smile. All right. Thank you. All right, with that, on behalf of Universiti Malaya and the Secretariat, we'd like to thank each and every one of you here for taking your time to attend our Living Lab webinar 2020. I'm sure, inshallah, we have more series in store for you to cover more interesting sustainability topics, on which we have 2 more sessions on the next 2 following weeks. We will keep you posted, and don't forget to follow our Facebook page and as well as Instagram and YouTube channel. So have a great week to all. Please stay safe. And we will email the e-certificate to all the attendees. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Assalamualaikum. Take care. Be safe.
You too, Prof. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Fazli.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Easy, eh?
Thanks, Fazli. Orang kuat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All the team members. Bye.
Irene tak ada, Irene.
Irene ada.
Arigato. Keep chasing us.
Okay, bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.